Hello, my crafty friends. I'm starting just a few minutes early. Um, I People were out there already, so I decided I could start. Diane's not going to be able to be here until about 2:15, so I'm just going to play by myself for a little while. Oh, oh, sorry, I got something in my eye. Oh goodness. Uh, well, I'm glad you're here. Hi, Tanya. Are you still there? Or are you coming? Did you come back? Hi, Melody. Hi, Sharon. I decided to go ahead and start a little bit early since I was already out here. We'll have to wait until about 2:15 for Diane to be able to come. But hi, Kathy. I'm so glad to see you. But anyway, I cut out a few things over the last few days, and then I found some things. I think these things I got in Happy Mail, but they're butterflies and flowers and things that I can use. And then I found these where I had cut stuff out a long time ago, so I can use some of those as well. Hi, Eva. Goodness, it's been a long time. So good to see you. We got about 4 inches. It snowed more than that, but that's what, by the time it started piling up, we got about 4 inches. So, hi, Dawn. Good to see you. Glad you're here. So, I'm so excited that Diane's going to get to come on with me when she gets here. I'll, I got started. I didn't finish these little bees because I didn't want any of their feet to get. Well, this one's a wasp, but anyway, I didn't want their feet to get cut off, so I just did them partially. But I just thought I'd show you some of the things that I just got out of the magazines the last few days. Oh, these are those little. I don't know what those little creatures are. Something from Star Wars. Here's the big one with this little guy. Anyway, I cut some of those out. I always like weird expressions at who knows what she's looking at. And I got a hand that we could put something in, and a little couch. We could put all these little. We could put these little guys on the couch, or some of them. That might be fun. Hey, Tanya. Left hand does not type well. Well, you'll get really good at it, and by then you'll get your right hand working good again. So I got a watch, and then I've got um, Luke Skywalker and Ray. Is her name Ray? I can't remember. I think so. I'm not that good at remembering all these things. Hi, Carol. I'm glad you're here. And then I've got these little mushroom creatures. I showed y'all these on Monday, but they hadn't been cut out yet. A balloon. There she is again. It's not the girl herself that I'm that interested in. It's the pose she's in, the look on her face. All those things make this a fun thing to add in. There's Chewbacca, one of my favorite Star Wars characters, and then there's Carrie Fisher. I just thought she looked very elegant, and this is the girl who played Ray, but she's dressed up for something else. No, there's another one of those little guys, and here's another balloon. Got a camper. And these are um, some more Star Wars things out of that same magazine. I don't know if we use them today or not. I just cut them out because I had them. And then here's some butterflies. A bird. Got this guy. Yeah, she's not going to be able to be here till 2:15. She has to work till 2, but she said she messaged me earlier and said that things were going really well, so she felt like she could be here by 2:15. So that sounds good. Then I've got these cute girls. Some of these I did cut out. I think while y'all were what? No, I cut all these out in the house. Anyway, I have to cut out in here because I didn't want that antenna to get messed up. But there's a radio, and here's some other stuff like that. And this little guy just looked interesting. I don't know if we will ever use him or not. And right at the moment, I can't think of what to use the eggs for. But it's another thing we could probably put. We could put one of these little people in there, or creatures, or whatever that is. We could also put some of these in there. I don't know what we're going to do, but it looked interesting, so I cut it out. Here's some birds. And what's that? Oh, and then I've got these two guys just walking. You never know when you're going to need some people to be walking on a path or something. And here's a hiker carrying her daughter and a bird. And here's another hiker from behind, and a turtle. The tortoise. Hi, Andrea. I'm glad you're here. It's a bobcat. I think that's a bobcat. And here's a guy picking up trash. And here's another bird. Then I've got these ladies in all their beautiful embroidered dresses. And these were just weird little pieces of metal work. Like this is one of those flaps you just stick the mail through. And then this is where you put a doorknob. Oh, no, it's a doorbell. And this is another kind of mailbox. I don't know. I don't know if we'll need them. I just cut them out. There's a building. And then this needs to go with my backgrounds. Hi, Mindy. So I thought I could cut out a couple of things here while we're waiting. Because I haven't done anything with this stuff yet. And as I'll say this several times, so I don't want those of you that hear it over and over, sorry, but Dianne will be coming in at about 2:15, so she has to get home from work. Here's somebody drew all over that one. Okay, I will be glad to do that, Tanya. There you go. Yay, Tanya's going to come on with me for a little bit. Hi, Lisa. I'm glad you're here. When I found this poor torn up book, I thought, oh, I could cut out this and this and this. But I haven't really cut out anything yet. Anyway, I just thought I'd look at it real quick and see if there's something I wanted to cut out right now. We got some cows and ducks, and then we've got I guess this is a calf carrying a pig. See, now I really like this. But you've also got these animals you could cut out and use. This little guy's playing. So they are gorgeous illustrations. It's one of those things. It's a shame the book was all torn up, but at least that gives me an excuse to use it. I like this too. I like the little hedgehog, but I like the faces on the mushrooms. I think that's fun. Oh, there's Tanya.
You can take me off the camera, please. Oh dear.
Oh no,
That's
you look great. We're glad to see you.
uh, it's
Do you
pretty
really want me
bad.
to take you off the camera?
Yeah, you could take me off the
I
camera.
could do this. How's
Okay,
that?
that's way better.
Okay. Hi,
Hello,
Janice.
everybody.
Yay, Tanya's able to actually be here.
Yeah, well, I'm upright.
Well, that's good. That's better than the alternative.
Yes, I can't put this the other hand. I can't get it up on top of the table. That's how limited movement it is.
Yeah.
So I still can't eat with that hand, or because I can't get it lifted up. So
Well, they're all glad you were willing to do this. So thank
yeah,
you.
well, I wouldn't have wanted to if Dianne was here, but if she's going to be a few minutes late, I'll come on for a little while. So I haven't hit my nap time yet.
Okay. So we've got you for a few minutes.
Yeah.
Hi,
Hi guys.
Lori. I'm glad you're here.
I'm so glad you guys are here. I just really wanted to say hi. I missed y'all. So
Well, we have missed you too.
well, they my physical therapy. I was released from the horrible torture device Monday. I don't have to wear it at all anymore. So that was a yay. And I thought sleeping would
Absolutely.
be so much better, right? Ha 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 ha. Uh,
Oh,
oh yeah.
I was really
Sleeping is
hoping it would be.
oh no. Um I'm still having to sleep flat on my back, and it just, so I don't sleep very well. Um and I wake up in the middle of the night hurting, so that I end up having to take pills in the middle of the night. But anyways, at least I don't have to wear that stupid brace all the time, and that is so much better. My elbow doesn't hurt as much, a lot of things, but my hand and arm are still swollen, so that even if I'm not on the table, I can't. My right hand doesn't want to write things. My small motor skills are still kind of out. Um,
Yeah. Well, that
but
makes sense.
yeah, it's hard to text. It's hard to write. I can write, and it looks like my mother's handwriting. So
We won't tell her.
hi, yeah, Lisa. I don't know whether I'm at 50% or not. Um, uh, that's it's hard to tell. But I also had trouble getting my physical therapy set up. Um, Up until this morning, I wasn't going to be able to start until the 10th, which is way far out there. So um, I got something. I have to go somewhere else.
But you can go earlier.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
I'm going on Monday. So, of course, Jeff will have to drive me. I'm not allowed to drive. So,
Right. Well, when you can only put one hand on the steering wheel, I can imagine why you don't need to be driving.
well, luckily, I do drive left handed. So, as soon as I quit taking, me too, Andrea, I love you guys too. I missed you guys. Um, as soon as I quit taking any of those pills, I can go back to driving. But I wouldn't want to, the way my arm was working. Um,
Yeah.
you know, but hopefully in a couple of weeks, I won't have to make Jeff take me everywhere. So that will be a big um, a big advantage because he's trying to get things done, and it's impossible for him. I can't pour my own tea. There's a
Good
lot of
thing you
things.
have a tea fairy.
Yeah, I have a tea fairy, and the tea fairy makes 2 bottles at a time. So,
That's smart
mhm.
because then he doesn't have to go in 10 minutes and make another one.
Well, and if he has to be gone, he leaves me extras and that kind of thing. I don't have any strength in that hand either. So, like, I have these probiotic drinks that I drink, and I can't crack the cap on them, kind of thing. It's kind of like
Right,
opening a bottle of water. I can't crack those. Um,
right.
but he's been doing that.
Oh, thank you, Kathy. You're sweet.
I can't cook very well because stirring things left-handed does not work very well.
Oh, I'm sure.
So, and we
I've
ran out.
heard things right-handed, so I know. I'm
Yes.
leaving this little bit
Oh yeah, I
um,
would.
right there until I'm ready to use it. So hopefully it'll protect it. And I'm doing the same thing down here.
Hmm.
Um, but he's still very cute. He's still very cute. Well, I learned that it's easier to move the paper than the scissors. You get a smoother cut if you move the paper rather than moving your scissors. And when you're fussy cutting, the blades on these scissors are small, so you still have to move your scissors quite a bit. But going around corners and things, it's much easier to do it smoothly if you move the paper.
That's how I do it too.
Yep, yep, yep.
I did fussy cut a few things the other night, but my hand gets really tired.
Yeah, I
Um,
would imagine so.
well, and
Just
like I said,
just having to just trying to hold it, it takes
yeah,
some effort.
my fingers are still swollen. I don't think you can tell on the camera, but it's about a quarter of an inch bigger than the other one. So and it's getting there. It's like I haven't had any pills all day today. That's a big, deal.
You have a pretty high pain tolerance, don't you?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
do. Um, I didn't take any pills most of last week. I think one night I had to get up and take one, but uh, getting out of the bracement, that it I do things. I reach for something. Like I went to um, wash my hands in the kitchen sink, and I knew I couldn't reach the handle to turn the water on, but to reach the faucet and the water, I stretched and pulled something. So
Oh,
it's just I have to think about those things. So, Barbara, I'll tell you what. I must have read about 70 books. Just mindless books too. Nothing, because I can't couldn't, in the brace, I couldn't hold a book. I can hold a book now. So I can actually read a book. But in the brace, I couldn't hold a book. And I wasn't not allowed out of that brace at all for any minute for 2 weeks. And then the next 2 weeks I was allowed. Hi, Janet. Um,
hi, Janet. Glad you're here.
uh, the next 2 weeks I was allowed to sit in my chair as long as I didn't walk around. I couldn't stand up. I could just sit here like this if I took the
Yeah.
brace off. So if Jeff was outside or something, I couldn't take the brace off, and I couldn't walk around. I couldn't do anything. So I've been doing a little bit here and there though, because I had such a mess from coming in from our trip and being sick. I still had stuff from the camper piled on the dining room table. So
Yeah.
um, I've been trying to pick up and one-handed, that kind of stuff. Trying to get stuff sorted out. So hopefully Picola and I are going shopping next week. So
Yay.
yay. I can get dressed now, guys. That was the biggest, most important thing of the whole 4 months, 4 weeks, is not being able to put real clothes on, because getting the clothes under that brace without taking it off was non-existent.
Oh, I bet. I bet.
Yeah, it,
I'm just gonna go ahead and mention
yeah,
again, because in case somebody's joined us since I said it, Diane will be here about 2:15. So she's working all morning and early afternoon, and then she's gonna come straight home and be with us. So um that was really good of her to be willing to do that, because that's hard to do your whole shift and then come home and immediately jump into a live stream. So
that's right. Yeah, Barbara, just and doing laundry, because Jeff had to help me do the laundry. I couldn't even get the laundry soap into the wash machine one-handed, because you gotta squeeze that little thing and whatnot. So yeah, shopping with a friend is the best therapy. And Helen drives most of the time when we go, and I direct, so
there you
I
go.
don't have to drive. And by next week I should feel enough. Jeff and I ran errands after my doctor's appointment Monday, and it wore me out. um, I did have to take a pill to just do that without the brace on, though. So just wearing the seatbelt in the car was hard. Those are pretty.
They are, aren't they? And I don't
Mm-hmm.
know if you saw it, but they have little faces.
Oh, they're cute.
So they're cute. They go with him. So that's fun. Um oh, I was gonna say I need to do this right here.
Sometimes I leave that part till I go to, because um, that way it doesn't get caught.
Yeah. I do too sometimes, but I'm sitting here.
I was gonna say those are pretty sturdy looking though. So
Yeah. It's not like they're spindly little things. So
yeah. But yeah, I'm just trying to catch up, and then I get wore out real easy um, too. I had to walk a long ways. The parking lot at the doctor's office is terrible, and we were a little bit on the late side, so I was walking really fast. I was wore out by the time I got in the building. So, but that's all just from not having anything to do and sitting.
hi,
So,
Sherry.
hi,
I did
Sherry.
I didn't know Tanya was going to be able to be here for a little while, so her name's not in the
Oh,
box.
that's
So it's a surprise for everybody when they get
yeah,
here. But Diane will
well,
be here a little bit. But
that's fine. I didn't want to interrupt with Diane, but since she wasn't going to be here, I thought, well, I'm going to be here. I heard I heard on Pinterest mushrooms are in for 2023. Even I think they've been in for a little while, but I wouldn't doubt what they're really in for 2023.
yeah, uh, one of my friends, she likes mushrooms. She thinks they're cute, things with mushrooms on them and stuff. And one of her granddaughters bought her a shirt, and it looks like it's straight out of the 70s. It says groovy, and it's got these mushrooms on it, but it's all psychedelic. And she does not wear psychedelic stuff. But her granddaughter was so excited. Look what I found for you, Gigi. She's like, oh, you love mushrooms. So she has to wear it.
Oh, of course she has to wear it. Janice, I probably could, but I really just need to get back to walking. Um, it just that I'd have walked the the neighborhood if I could have put on real clothes. But I spent a month in my pajamas. We were out for the day of surgery and 2 visits to the doctor in a month's time. So I was out of house 3 times in a month. So
Probably
but
going stir
now,
crazy.
and that brace was so uncomfortable. It was just like if I don't get to go somewhere soon, I'm gonna just go bananas. Jeffrey took me to Dollar Tree though. Yes, Monday.
Well,
Hi
there you
Pam.
go.
Oh yeah, he
Hi,
let me
Pam.
he let me shop. I was in there almost an hour. Oh, that's cute. I found a book this morning I want to cut up, but I'm going to cut it up funny.
No, just a second. Let me make you big so we can see.
Okay. I'm
Oh,
going to cut around the plant descriptions and keep the plant with the description.
and just kind of fussy cut on the outside edge. Oh, that'll be
Mhm.
cute.
Yeah, I was rearranging stuff, but I thought to keep the descriptions would be kind of cool. So I think I'll just fussy cut around the plant and the description.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
So, yep.
You could make
I,
journaling cards out of them, or
yeah, that's what I was thinking. I'm just gonna, because there's not much else I can do as far as when I get make me little again.
oh, sorry, sorry, sorry. He's like, I don't want to look at myself.
Oh, yeah. I would tell you what, being able to take showers is the best thing in the whole world.
Yeah, when you when you told me that you could be out of your brace while you were taking a shower, I was like, okay, she's gonna be taking 5 showers a day just to
That's
be out
kind
of
of
the brace.
how I felt. Uh-huh. So, mhm. And yesterday I actually got down and took a bath, which meant that I could soak my shoulder, in hot
Oh,
water.
yeah. I
I
bet
had a
that
little
felt good.
it felt so good. And I had a little trouble getting down, but getting back out, I was fine. So, and it's about to the point where I won't have to have Jeff help me. Um, I don't know why, but our tub, the bottom of the tub's about 6 inches off the floor. So when you step out of the tub, you've got a long drop to the floor. So,
Yeah.
so I've had to learn to get out without stepping out like a normal person. Yeah. I do. Uh, uh, I feel for anybody that does not have all the strength and abilities in your hands and legs.
I tell you, you take things for granted until they don't work right. And then you're
Yep.
like, I didn't know I was taking it for granted. But I really did. I
Yeah.
know when my shoulder was hurting and I couldn't do hardly anything, I was like, just reaching over to grab your own drink.
Oh yeah.
You
I
take
can't.
you
I
know for
I can't
granted the
reach for
ability
my
to do that.
tea with my right hand. I can't. It's and I can't drink a glass with my right hand because I can't lift it that high. So,
We gotta make sure we keep this towel for that little guy when he gets out of the bath there.
oh yes, yes, he's gonna need it. But
Well,
it's getting better every day. Um, it's just one of those things. It's going to take a. I got lucky. I didn't have to spend a full 6 weeks in the brace. I was only in the brace for 4 weeks. So, and as much as they had to do, I don't know if I told you, but I had 3 tears, not just one, but 3. I had a bone spur, calcified stuff. They call it frozen shoulder, plus a couple of other things that they had to do. By the time they got done, there was 6 pages of pictures of stuff they did. So,
wow.
yeah, uh,
At
I've
least
got.
they could do it all.
Well, there's one tear they couldn't fix. He told Jeffrey that. Yep, that's right, Kathy. Small steps. He told Jeff that if it was underneath towards a different area, and that he would likely tear things worse trying to get to it. So he left it be. So, um,
So is that something he thinks will eventually heal itself, or is it something you're going to just have to deal with?
I may have to deal with it. It by having everything else fixed, he feels like it won't get worse. But uh, it's one of those things that apparently, as we age, has nothing to do with damage or anything. But as we age, those particular muscles stretch, and that's
Yeah,
why so many people end up with tears.
that makes sense because it usually is, older people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think these are birch trees. They're not straight enough to be aspens,
Yeah, they look like birches.
but
Actually, they look like made up trees, but
they are made up trees. Maybe they're a made up birch aspen.
yeah, there you go. But the other thing is that in one place he actually put a patch, um, like you would patch your jeans.
Yeah.
They put in there was 7 staples. Oh, I think he told me about 15 stitches and the patch. So
Wow.
yeah, yeah, it was messed up pretty good.
Well, I'm just glad that they could actually do something for you.
Yeah,
That
well,
you're not just going to have to deal with it like that the rest of your life.
right, right. So Janet is going to be back in a little bit. Be careful, Janet. I hope the headache gets better.
Okay, me too. If you need to go to bed, go to bed. Don't worry about us. We will miss you, but I worry about your headaches. That's I've had them myself and I know how horrible they are. So I don't ever want you to feel like you have to be here when you need to be in bed. Okay, I'm going to leave his tail and um
Not cut his hand.
yeah, I'm just going to leave a little bit there too. I don't know if you can see to keep his hand um from getting messed up.
Jeff
But
is
this
working
way
on my
you don't have to
greenhouse
do
too.
as much when it's time to
Right.
use it.
It just have to take a little bit of time to do it. Jeff's working on my greenhouse.
Oh, that's wonderful.
It's going to be a monster. It's awesome. So I think it's
Oh, this looks like an old little hedgehog.
aw.
See, he has a cane.
Yep. And he's a little gray.
He's a little gray, a little sad looking.
Yeah, a little bit. It's going to be about 10 by, I think, 16 or 17 feet.
Wow,
So,
that's wonderful. I would love to
hi,
have a
Kathy.
greenhouse.
I hope it goes real well. Well, he's tired of moving his cactus in and out.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I would love to have a greenhouse and a garden and all that stuff, but um, I'm the only one who eats vegetables at my house. Both of my kids are carnivores. Now, I'm not saying they don't eat anything, but seriously, very few vegetables. They have never liked them. So, so having a vegetable garden, um,
it's
I
kind of
mean,
a waste of.
I could give a bunch of stuff away, but yeah, it's kind of a
Mm-hmm.
waste. Plus, I physically can't do a lot of the work,
Yep.
and so I would be having to make them work for a garden of
That
stuff
they
they won't
wouldn't.
eat.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
um, and they're
See, and
good
Jeff
kids.
does
They
all
do
the
a lot of
hard.
stuff for me, so I don't want to.
Jeff does all the hard stuff for me, but I do most of the planting and the picking and the weeding and all that. So,
Yeah,
but he builds stuff. So, and like the sweet potato bed, which did not do well, but that was because everything froze last spring and I had to replant and it was late. So, oh
yeah.
well. Um, he
Don
had to.
says he looks like he needs a hedge hug.
Yes, he does, but I don't want to hug him. Just
Uh,
honestly.
I've held one in my hand, a baby one,
Mm-hmm.
but and it just lay there, and all its little spines, were laying in here, so you were seeing his face and his belly. But when I used to work for the orthodontist, one of my patients um had a hedgehog and brought it to show me. So
Oh, how fun.
they used to bring all kinds of fun stuff. Okay, I'm thinking I would like to keep.
I was gonna say,
I,
that one you might not want to cut up until you're ready to use it.
yeah, because I think these trees might be fun to add into somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
I could at least do these two with it. Of course, even that Nomad book is not big enough for this whole picture, but I'm gonna save it. I'm not gonna cut anything else out of it because I don't know for sure, and I don't want to make the wrong choice and then wish I had chosen something else. Okay, we got a couple of ducks here, or geese, or I guess they're geese. I don't know. Yes, geese. They're geese. It says little gosling. Therefore, they must be geese. Dawn says, save the trees. Okay, Dawn. I'm going to save the trees because I like them too.
Diane was talking on one of her videos the other day about um, the images that she was getting out of the magazines that, you know, she was culling magazines, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah,
And about images that she had saved in the past that she's going to go through to, because she's found she doesn't, there's certain things she doesn't use, that kind of thing. Go
yeah. And
through
I
and,
think
and
that's
just,
wise.
well, yeah, because let's see, I've got one, two, three, there are 6 tubs over there filled, 4-inch deep tubs filled with images from magazines. Like I'm ever going to use that many images.
Yeah, yeah.
So I need to do the same thing, go through and cull, but
Well,
that
I
takes
have
time.
a
First, I
box
have to
or
find my
two
studio.
boxes full somewhere that I couldn't even find. So
Uh oh.
as I'm getting stuff out of my studio, I'm sure I'll find them. But
Yeah.
I couldn't find them today when I was trying to find them to have them here to use. But one of them is big stuff anyway. I mean, really big stuff, like
Oh,
from calendars and things like that. And from a couple of really huge books. And so they wouldn't work on the books I'm working in at the moment anyway.
those images are sometimes fun to use, like for envelopes.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Whole page images are a lot of fun to use for images. Yeah, but what basis would you call? Yeah, well, that's going to probably be the last thing I do, because right now I have got to find my house. I am so tired of the house looking like it does.
Oh, me too. I moved a few things, so and I got the bedroom ready in the apartment that Ethan's going to be moving into, so we could move some of his stuff that's just been sitting in the dining room and the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
We were able to move it over there, so there's actually a little bit of breathing room now. It's not just a path
Mm-hmm.
through the living room and dining room. So that makes me feel so much better that I know if I get my house really in order and my studio really in order, I'll really feel like good. But
Yeah,
it's
that's
just
it.
going to take a long time.
Well, and see, it's been over a year and a half since we moved mom. And mom, my dining room, both of the bedrooms are still filled up with mom stuff.
Yeah,
And I need to go through, and Jeff's got a whole huge pile of her stuff out in the workshop in his way. So I really need to, you know, make decisions about stuff. Now that she's been in the apartment for a year, it will be easier to get rid of stuff that I know she's never going to use. She just didn't want to get rid of it because she thought she would use it.
yeah,
And she's never going to sew again, that kind of thing. So
Right. When I was going through some of the stuff in the bedroom over in that apartment. A lot of it was stuff that my mother had over there, upholstery stuff, you know. And I said, Mom, seriously, you're not really, I mean, you're not even really interested in reupholstering anything right now, are you? And she says, Oh, no.
yeah, I mean,
And that used to be something she loved to do. So,
well,
she's
and
reupholstered a lot of furniture.
it's hard for me to get rid of fabric and stuff that's perfectly good,
Yes, yes.
but I have got to find some way to
Well,
get
and
rid of
choosing
stuff.
what is it you want to keep,
Right.
That's hard because you have it for a reason. You chose it for a
Oh
reason.
yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah. Barbara says, Here's what I've got: small photo boxes with tiny images, small images, tiny people, small people, medium, one with everything, another with papers recently removed from my desk. Wait, there's more. And Mindy says, Barbara, do you have a good system of how to store these images? Um, or here in her house, I guess is what she's saying. They're just in a plastic square drawer.
Well, and mine are in they're like they look like a cake pan, about the size of a cake pan, but they were plastic bins I got at Walmart that have snap closures on the ends of them, and
Oh, uh-huh.
they're just slap full. So and then they're just sitting there.
Yeah. I know you're typing at the same time. It's just funny how
Uh,
good it goes together. Okay, well here's some of my images. Here's oh that I just
oh
tossed them on the floor.
no.
I do
Oh
not like trying to pick stuff up off the floor. My mommy was not happy
no.
about having to do that. Okay, y'all just gonna have to be patient a minute.
Oh, they'll wait for you.
Yeah. Oh goodness gracious.
But that's the other thing, Barbara. My images right now are all just shoved in these plastic bins. There's no rhyme or reason to what's in there. Just
Yeah.
piled in there.
I've got
So
this and then I've got bags like
yeah.
this.
Mhm. Yeah.
So anyway, I was
And
moving this so I could show y'all something that I got yesterday. I've been going to the thrift store once a week to try and find one of those long electric pancake griddles so I can do the encaustic work in the spring that I'm wanting to do. And I'm still, of course, in the past I've seen 100
oh,
of them over the years, but I can't find any now.
yep.
But I did find this while I was there.
Oh. Mm. Oh, that's so cool.
I know, I love it. I love it. And it's got there's the first drawer. It's got four drawers, and each one of them is configured differently. Let's see what's. Oh, that's. It looks like there's something under there, but it's just a stripe. Anyway,
Those are cool.
and these are just some of that nonstick stuff that was put in there. So I have a sorting bin. I'm not sure what I'm going to sort into it. But I'm thinking maybe words or real small little images, things like that
Mhm.
will
Yeah.
go get in here. But I just love the old metal, you
Oh,
know.
I love that. Well, I have three. Of course, I have three sets of map drawers. You've seen those, but I also have three sets of they're like index size metal drawers that Jeff painted for me.
Yeah.
But they're full of my bead glassworking stuff. So that's another thing. I've got a bunch of stuff like that I'm not using. So
Okay, I'm going to scooch all of these things that I've cut in the last couple of times or shown y'all already over here. And then I thought I would look again at what's in these bags while we're waiting for um, Dianne to get here. I've got, things like this.
Yeah, Barbara, that's right. Your organizing principle needs to be. The other thing is that you have to fix it so you use it. Um, I've been putting some images into notebooks, but I have a funny feeling I don't like that. I have a
Yeah, I
feeling I
tried
won't.
that and I didn't. I never. I would put the notebooks up and never go get them out and use them.
Right, and that's it. I What you've got right there is probably much more my speed because then you can pull them out like that. I have those little ones on my desk, the little um, photo albums where I shove a
Yeah,
whole bunch in one page. That seems to work, but those are little images. So maybe a big notebook with a whole bunch of pages where I just shove that instead of using that envelope, use a small notebook to shove
yeah.
everything into. But put a whole bunch of images down in there where you pull them out and then start looking at them when you're working on works on
I don't know
something.
why this was in there
Yeah, because
because
it
I
goes with
found
your
it on the floor
collage. Uh
probably.
huh.
And,
Uh huh.
um, anyway, and here's like a butterfly that I've left the
Mm-hmm.
so that I won't mess it up. And here's a guy that has to be coming in from the edge. So
But
I'm
I
just
like the little piles like that.
yeah,
When I do my little glue books, my tiny glue books, I love to pull out the pile of images and then just kind of fiddle through them. And
yeah. There's something about touching them and pulling them out from under other things that um it's kind of it like a treasure hunt. Um, while you're working, it kind of inspires you
right,
just by
then
touching them.
you sometimes see things that go together in your mind that don't really go together.
Yeah.
You know, the hanging file folders are easy to use. I'm changing my labels a bit instead of just faces now. I have people, faces, paper dolls, body parts. Yeah, I don't know that I would sort mine though. I think I'm like in those piles Lisa's making, just having the pile and other than
Well,
maybe
and part of it,
having
go ahead.
a pile of or a bin of butterflies, birds, flowers, that kind of thing, because those I use in different ways. I use
Yeah, I
those.
use those for everything.
Yeah.
Anyway, and there's a fish.
What did you start to say though that I interrupted?
Uh, I had a file box that I had all those hanging file folders with all the categories, and I
Mm-hmm.
put all the stuff in there, and and then um, and then it got set down and things got piled on top of it, and it sat there for like a year, and I didn't even remember what was in it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's happening to me
So,
too. I've got some amazing books, just like finding this one today. I've got some fun books, and they're just you know uh, they got on the shelf, and now I haven't looked at them. So
yeah, I think Barbara was right. She says size might be a good way to organize.
well, and I do have that. I have the bigger images, and then I have two little tiny, like they're about 5 by 7 boxes that have smaller images in them. Um, because I tend to use a lot of smaller images, but a lot of times the page might have a small image in it, but it's in the big box. How big is that book you started using? Whatever you called that book, I don't remember
The
what you called
Nomad
it.
book.
Yeah, the Nomad book.
I'll show you. I'm just gonna leave these out because these are really big images, and that we can compare to the book. Oh,
Oh, 8 by
so
10.
see, um, let's just measure it to be sure. It's about 8.5 by 10.5. Yeah.
Okay, I was close.
You were very close. I'm proud of you. That's impressive. um.
I have
Anyway,
one
it's
talent.
a nice
one,
size book.
one talent.
You have a lot more talents than that. That one just came in handy at the moment.
Well, my other talent is being able to see a piece of fabric at home and remember what color it is when I get to the store to buy thread.
That is impressive because I'll get home with thread and go, oh no.
Yeah, yeah, I can do that. It's one of those talents. It's a weird talent, but it's one of those things. Yeah, see, like that's a whole little container of flowers, and
Yeah.
I might do, a batch of birds and a batch of course, I have those little photo boxes that we put
All of our stuff that we made, our
yeah,
library.
our
Yeah,
library in, and I have
I do too.
one of those. I have one of those with butterflies in it. So that kind of a box for that kind of thing. That's still, if you want a butterfly, you can get one.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's that those boxes are still full. I have never taken anything out of them that we put in them and used it. So
And neither have I. We need to actually do something where we use that stuff
we do. We need
because
to make a journal that we decorate purely from those boxes.
right. Mm-hmm.
Because I don't even remember what I had in there, so it'll be interesting.
Yeah. Either that or an altered book journal
Yeah, yeah.
might be fun
Some kind
too.
of a some kind of a book journal thing.
My mom used to tell me she needed a spool of thread, but she'd wait until she got the whole thing cut out, then tell me she needed a spool of thread. Do you remember that piece of fabric, Tanya, that I was going to make this out of? Can you bring me a spool of thread that matches it? Oh, ooh, that's a pretty dragonfly.
It is, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of clear. Um,
Clear.
yeah, it's like on acetate, printed
Yeah,
onto
he's pretty.
acetate.
He looks coppery.
He is green and copper.
I'm missing working in my little book too, Barbara. When I can get my hand back up on the table, I'll try to. I may not be able to stream for long, but I'll try to start streaming on Sundays again. Um, I don't know how long I'll be able to work, but I have to be able to put my hand on the table and function. Is
Okay,
Diane
sorry.
here?
Not quite yet. Not yet.
Okay. Well, when she comes
I'm
in, I'm
keeping
going
an
to.
eye out for her.
Okay, when she comes in, I'm going to say hi to her, and then I'm going to go. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
I'm going to have to change positions out of this chair.
I wonder what these butterflies must have come with something else because they have no bodies. So this is like extra wings or something, maybe? I don't know.
Hmm.
But they're
Yeah,
definitely
they're
die cuts. They're not something I cut out.
yeah. Well,
But
you could always
anyway.
put a body on there.
Oh yeah. That's not a problem. You could draw one if you needed to. And
Mm-hmm.
this one's, two levels.
2 levels. Uh-huh.
And see what wasn't there another one? Oh no, I guess that was one of the flowers was like that too. So I'm glad she joined me today too. Um, I think these came in Happy Mail.
Ah, okay.
I think so. And of course, I didn't write on the
Well, and
bag
there's
who
a
they were
mushroom in
from.
there with
So
it. Mm-hmm.
there are, yeah. There's a couple. There's that one and that one. So these are going to be fun to use. I had them with my regular um, ephemera stuff, and I thought,
Mm-hmm.
oh, I might can use some of those. So
Yeah. Barbara, they do look kind of like the Dollar Tree ones, but I don't remember the Dollar Tree ones having no bodies.
yeah, I haven't gotten any from Dollar Tree that didn't have bodies. So I'm wondering if those particular ones, were in a package of something. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Barbara's hoping that Diane's going to give her some good organizing tips. I hope so too. I did watch that video that she did where she showed her studio
Yeah, that's what I was
after
watching the
she
other
moved
day.
into the apartment.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing I noticed that I hadn't seen before, and some other people, maybe a lot of people do it this way. I don't know. I just hadn't seen it. Is it's like everything she has in there, she organizes by color. And I thought it was interesting that her organizational system, the doing it by color carries throughout her whole studio. So she
Mm,
always knows she organizes things by color and she
by
doesn't
color.
have to wonder, how did I do that? You know?
Right. Hi,
Anyway, I
Kel.
thought that was really interesting. So, hi, Kellyanne. Good to see you. Oh, just Kel, it says. I'm going to call you Kellyanne. I'm sorry, because that's what I read first.
Hi, Sue.
Yeah, Diane will
Um,
be here pretty soon. It shouldn't be too long because she said she was hoping to be here by 2:15. So I'm hoping that it won't be much longer and she'll
mm,
be in. But I don't know that she's ever come into StreamYard before. So
so it might take her a minute or two.
it might, yeah. I'm checking back on Facebook once in a while where I left the
The
um
link.
yes, thank you. Where I left the link so I can, if she's having an issue I can find it.
She says Kellyanne is perfectly acceptable.
Oh, good.
So, but she's somewhere where there's a slushy mess. So you can keep that. I'm here in Florida where it is chilly outside, but the sun is shining. So
Yeah. Well, I tend to, of course, Diane did have her stuff organized by category as well, like paints and, but within the category, she also had everything broken down into color.
well, and I wish I did. I would like to do that with my paints, especially
Yeah.
because I'm constantly looking through the whole bin to try to find the red ones or something else like that kind of thing. So
Right. I have some of mine done by color. The little craft paints that, like you get from, well, let me show you these kinds of things
mm-hmm.
because I have an old CD shelf that I just stick them into like this that has a bunch of little compartments. And so I've got them done by color.
By color. And see, mine are upside down in a, well, I think it was a silverware organizer, but it's way too big to fit in my drawer for silverware.
Yeah.
But so it's a giant metal silverware organizer that came from somewhere, probably thrift store or something. And I have that, and then I have another basket on top of it with. So those paints are in the silverware organizer upside down, and then my tubed paints and all that kind of thing are in the other basket. My organization is called Controlled Chaos. Mine is just called Chaos.
Mine is
There's
too.
no control whatsoever.
Well,
So
some of it's controlled.
I was
Some
picking up
controlled, but
this morning. I was picking up my last library book sale piles. Okay, I only have one hand. I'm not allowed to put more than a pound in this hand. So I have maybe one book in this hand and this hand maybe one. So then I walk and find a place to put it. And then I have to go back. Okay, and the piles were like 3 of them knee deep. So it's just chaos.
Goodness.
It's just chaos.
Yeah, that's kind of how my studio is. I've also got these images. I don't know if I've shown these to you or not. I took these out of a book on fashion through the
history.
history, yeah. So so I fussy cut all these out.
Those are cool.
I've got all different sizes. And
I like that they're black and white. You could add just a tiny bit of color with a pencil or something, just here or there, or do like the Tim Holtz and give them little pink cheeks like Jamie does.
Some of them are bigger. See, there's all different sizes, which in that book, which I thought was really cool. oops, like you got this is a couple, there's
Mm-hmm.
and then there's a couple of ladies. Oh, cut their heads off. Sorry about that.
Sue,
And then these are really
I need a
tiny.
roadie even when I don't have. Oh, those are tiny.
Yeah.
Even when I don't have a problem with my shoulder. I mean, I have a tea fairy, but
I like that one too.
I got him busy building something. So
Anyway, things like
but
this,
I
I'm just stuck in one of these. So, hey, yay.
Hi Diane.
Okay, click on the link and we'll see. Hopefully it'll be easy.
Now if she's got YouTube open, she'll want to turn the sound off on YouTube. A house elf. There you go, Sue. I have a house elf.
Oh, excuse me. Goodness
Oh, it
gracious.
got you, didn't it?
Yeah. Um. Yeah.
But my greenhouse so far, Jeff's got screws and bolts and screws. That's the only thing we've paid for. He's
Well, that's
using
pretty good.
he's using recycled cinder blocks and bricks on the ground. His brother brought him these stainless steel metal things to put on the ends of the posts. All the windows and the door were all picked up, alongside the road, or his brother. The wood is all recycled wood. Oh, I wait a minute. He used blackjack on the ends of the like tar on the ends of the board, so he had to buy that. And I may have to buy roofing because I have to have that transparent roofing, so I may have to buy that. But other than that, it's all recycled stuff.
That's
Everything.
wonderful.
Yeah. So I couldn't have it if it weren't, because we just couldn't justify the cost of buying all that stuff. So,
well, I'm a little concerned because I don't see her yet.
yeah, Barbara, we could all use a house elf. Of course, I have a pretty good house elf. He's just, not in the house today. I would tell you the house is a little dirty. With him, he's having to cook. We ran out of prepped meals a couple weeks ago. I had enough prepped meals to last about 3 weeks.
Well, that's impressive.
Yeah. It would have been better had I not gotten sick. When we first got home, it was my intention to fill the entire freezer full of prepped meals.
Yeah.
But we were both down for 2 weeks, and that just toasted my prep time.
Right, because you can only do so much.
Yeah. Well, but then, like I said, he's been pretty good. He's not a bad cook. He just doesn't know how to do things. So we've only had pizza twice in a month and a half. So he's done pretty well. No, he's done pretty well. So I think we had a hamburger. No, that was the day we were out. There she is.
There she is. Oh my goodness.
Well, I'm going to say hi, and then I'm going to go. It was really good to see you guys. I'm going to go watch
till she got here, Tanya. I appreciate it.
Okay. Love you guys. Have fun. Diane, have fun.
Thank you. Okay. Bye.
Let's see.
Oh.
There we are.
Oh, no, that's too much glare. Well, I got here and I had everything set up, and then I realized that I didn't have anything to put my phone on, because I figured at first I would say hi with my face before, I'd put my hands down. So
let me
Yeah.
ask you one thing. Looking at your screen, do you see that there's a place that says that you can click on for comments up there in the upper right hand corner?
Oh, yeah,
And if you click on that, then you can see everybody's comments.
I think so. Hmm. Pardon my phone as I stick it.
That's
It just
okay.
says I've entered the show. Everyone can see and hear you. You mean where it says chat?
Uh, yeah, I thought called it comments, but maybe it is.
Oh,
Well,
there.
you don't want
Comments.
private chat. That's just
Right.
where you and I would talk.
Okay.
So
So,
there should be a place
yeah.
for
All
comments.
right. Yeah, I see it.
Oh, yay!
Yay. Okay. Oh, well, and then I got here and I have to make my coffee. So I had to make my coffee really quick. So
Well, coffee's important. So
it was
we were
important.
perfectly fine to wait for you to make your coffee.
It's
I've got
like,
my tea, so I understand.
yeah, yeah, no, it was a long day. So that's my getting here and chilling thing. I have to get my coffee. So
Yeah.
um
Well, I'm glad you were willing to come on with me, even though you had to work all day before you got here.
oh no, I'm excited. I've been excited about this ever since you asked me. So I it's a bummer that I had to wait so long. So
Well, that's okay.
um I know, but
We're here
once you
now.
got it in
We're
my
happy.
head, once you had it in my head, I was like, oh, I get to work in my book because I haven't worked
Yeah.
in my book for quite a while. I can't remember the last time that I worked in my book. So, um,
So I'm glad.
yeah. But mine is like yours with the cover. Remember you mentioned? I don't think mine's
Oh
as
yeah.
bad. The way that well, I don't think mine's is maybe the back one. But yeah, just with the way
It's
that
yeah, the back
yeah,
both of mine are kind of loose like that, but anyway, I
yeah.
figure that might actually be helpful as it gets fatter.
Right, right. And that's
So,
kind of been my biggest thing with working in this because I've never done anything like this before in a book. And I've gone back and forth on whether or not I should take pages out of it because I know it's going to get thick. I mean, because golly, just with like my regular collage journal, I
yeah.
mean, look how thick this is. And
Yeah.
this is only, so um, I just I don't know. So I don't know if I should go through and go ahead and cut out the pages that I'm kind of like, they can go, or just kind of wait and
Yeah, well, it
see.
is in signatures.
Oh, right,
So, when you got it in signatures and you take out a page, then you've loosened the page on the other side, or you have to leave a strip of extra page there.
right.
And so I thought about that a lot too. And there are some pages that that don't inspire me as much that I could take out, but um, I don't think I'm going to. I decided if it
Yeah,
gets too fat, then I can rebind it later.
right. Oh, that's true. Yeah. Well, the other thing I
Maybe
thought of
split it into a
is
couple of books or something.
right, right. That's
Yeah,
exactly what I thought. It's like, well, I can just split it into three different books or anything like
yeah.
that. But before I forget, um, I've got I do have the gypsy one, which
Looking for
I can.
that one when I saw a video where you showed it, and I was like, oh, I can't get that one. It's
Oh,
ridiculously expensive right now.
it's yeah. So whenever I put you guys down, I'll show you inside because it's a lot more colorful, like brighter colors. And of
Yeah.
course, I love bright colors. So, um,
Well, I'm
and
I'm keeping
then
my eye out on eBay and things like that to see if I can find one that's not $500.
oh, I know I'm trying to find the other one because I've got the other one too, and I've actually that one somebody heard me as I walk back and forth and all over the place. I don't know where I touched it. Um, where's the book at? I've actually just been using that one and cutting the pages out of it because I'm not as drawn to the stuff that's in that one as I am with the other. I
Yeah.
can't believe I can't find this silly book. Here, see, this is why I need to organize my space. And it's big. It's not like, it's small. Oh, it's something about blue. is what it's called, but somebody had seen it somewhere and they picked it up and bought it for me, which was really, really, really nice.
That was
Um,
nice.
I might stumble across it a
Yeah, so
bit.
you'll
I don't
probably
know.
think of it once we get off of where it is.
Well, it's weird because I pretty much just have all of my collage stuff like here, so I don't know where it is. But um, and I don't want to knock over my big ginormous stack of magazines that I am getting ready to
No,
sort through.
that would not be fun.
No. Okay, well, I don't know where it is, but anyways. Oh,
No.
here it is. I couldn't see it. Okay. The Life of a Bower Bird.
Oh, I saw that one on Amazon too, and
Yeah.
but didn't have any way to look through it to see what the pages looked like.
Yeah. Well, I'll flip through it, but
Okay.
it's not that it doesn't have anything nice in it. It's a lot of the same, but it's definitely more muted type colors in it.
So
It's
kind of
a lot of blues and grays and browns.
yeah,
But
I
we'll see that
I
I
like
love the
it from
swatch
here.
pages. The ones with the swatches on it are my favorite pages. Look at this one, it's ribbon.
Oh yeah,
It's so
that's
pretty.
lovely.
So, okay. Um, yeah, well, um, I don't know. I had to turn the chat. I can't have the comments and the screen open at the same time. And I don't have my glasses on. Is there
Well, if
anything
I
that,
see somebody asking you a question or something, I'll tell you. How about that?
okay, yeah, yeah,
Barbara says it's a beautiful book.
it is. They're
And
all beautiful.
Janet, thank you
Um,
for putting Diane's channel link in. Because anybody, I can't imagine anybody not knowing about her, but if they don't, they need to. So, um,
I kind of dropped off the face of the planet there for a couple years, so
you did, but we're all glad
I
you're
did.
back.
It's been a lot. So, um, yeah,
Wish I could give you a hug. So we'll just give
I
a hug.
yeah, that would be nice. That's probably been the most difficult thing with a lot of this is, getting used to being alone because I'm not used to that. So I go up
Yeah.
and down and I get better, but um, I just kind of got hit with a whole lot of things in a couple of years. So but it's
Well, I
made me
know
bigger and
exactly
better
what
and
that's like.
stronger than I've ever been before. So um, I see it as it was all preparation for where I'm going. And I was kind of thinking about this earlier because I saw, good old Facebook memories when it pulls up stuff that you don't necessarily want to see. Um, but I saw myself, and this was probably well, I've been on my own almost 3 years now already. It was probably 5 years ago. So it was when things were really rough and I didn't even look like myself. I don't look, I have changed so much, like in my appearance. So I thought it was neat because whether I realized it or not, um, because of when I first started um, doing collage journaling, magazine collage, for some reason I always started adding the butterfly wings on all my ladies, and that was for sure just a symbol of change and growing into something more beautiful and stronger and just all of that symbology that can go along with a
Yeah.
butterfly. And that's why you see butterfly wings and all my stuff. If you see butterfly wings on a girl, chances are in my head she's representing me. And just, I guess becoming yourself. Um, and so I thought that was interesting that all these years I had been doing that in my journal and actually at the same time I was like doing that also. You
Right.
know what I mean? Like as a
Yeah.
person. And so just I don't know. So anyways, the things that I think about when I'm at work and I work in a cafeteria, school cafeteria, and I do the salad bar. and a lot of it's fresh food, and I have to cut it up. And so I'm sitting there slicing and dicing things, 20 pounds of this or that or whatever. And so my mind starts thinking stuff like that. So um, I think that was my wonderful thought today while I was making pasta salad.
Well, it is a wonderful thought. And it's good that
Yeah,
when you have those because they help you move forward and they
right,
help you
right.
realize, that God's been there with you through the whole journey, helping you move forward. So,
Oh yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah,
that's a
yeah. Well,
blessing. Janet and Sherry
I
both are sending you hugs.
oh, thank you. Yeah. Well, and like I said, it's been rough, but I don't think that I would be where I'm at. I know I wouldn't be where I'm at right now, both mentally and physically and emotionally, and with getting ready to do the things that I'm wanting to. I wanted to do these things forever, but I just never went forward. I just didn't have any of that. I didn't have the self-confidence, and all of that goes, down to just my past. But so I know that I went through all of that to grow to be able to do what I'm doing now. So,
Yeah.
but it's
Sue said
neat
it's
how
art as a reflection of life.
it is, and especially
Yeah.
in my art journal. I mean, that's why that, and it always seems so cliche to say it as art heals, but it's my art journal, my collage journals that if I didn't have that, I don't know if I would have made it. I really, I just because that's where even when stuff was really, really, really hard, and when I was at rock bottom, I was still able to get all of that out in a really beautiful way, and it helped me, process things and get through things. So I don't take anybody's art lightly at all because you just don't know like where that's coming from, and even if it doesn't seem like something big and fancy or whatnot, it it can help somebody in so many different ways just by doing that and getting it out. So
I
I
agree.
think that's why I'm so passionate about art journaling and for sure sharing all of that because it's it's just definitely who I am. So and I'm almost done with my second collage journal, so I'm really excited.
Oh, yeah.
So anyways, I can stop rambling and we can start planning our books.
Well, have you looked through this book at all to see if there was a certain page that you would like to work on?
I haven't, but I when I was going through my all my stacks and stacks of magazines, I did pull out some new stuff that I thought, oh, that might work in that. So I'll move my phone and point you down and show you what I kind of tucked in because I
Yeah.
I think for sure when I'm harvesting my through magazines, whether I realize it or not, I can kind of see which journal that it might go in, you know. So some that I looked at and I was like, oh, that for sure would look cool in my Nomad journal. I stacked those up. Ones that I knew would go, I've got this red moleskin that's more like, um, well, it's me talking to me, pep talking me, you can do this
Right.
and
Yeah.
things like that. And just kind of certain ones I know that they can go in that. But that's as far as I got. I know that I do have some pages that have some images already tucked in them that I thought, okay, this is where it's going to go, but I hadn't worked on it yet.
Yeah.
So
Well, once you get your camera
yeah,
down,
I'm going to move you
I'm
guys
gonna
down.
make you bigger so you can kind of show um some of that. And then
Okay,
we'll choose the page and we'll see what we can do with it.
that's upside
Barbara
down.
said earlier before you got here that she was looking forward to picking your brain about some organizing ideas for images. So just thought
Oh,
if you have any tips as you're talking through things that you think about, people will be glad to hear them. So
okay. I'm sorry. I had my phone upside down.
that's okay. Uh oh. Uh oh. Well, let's give
Uh-oh.
her a second.
Oh, okay. Am I here?
Yeah, you're here.
Okay. Did my picture? Okay. When I clipped it, I accidentally turned on the emergency dial 911
Oh
button on
no.
the phone there. Um, all right. Get this out of the way.
Can you do landscape rather than portrait on your phone?
I don't know why it's like that. I'm sorry,
Is it
everybody. I am
switched while
totally
you were
like,
yeah. There you go.
is it better?
Yeah.
I forgive me.
Uh-oh.
Okay. See, I'm used to having this stuff all set up beforehand instead of on the fly.
That's
Oh
okay.
my gosh, everybody's like holding on for dear life. Oh, okay.
That's how things
Oh
go
my.
sometimes. We're not worried about it.
Never a dull moment. I've been really kind of clumsy here this past few days too. So, all right.
Back when I was young, in my 20s and 30s, I worked at an orthodontist office, and one of the ladies that worked with me, when when she was pregnant, she was fumble fingers. I mean, she couldn't hold on to anything. Everything was falling everywhere, and um, she, and so after that, every time somebody's dropping stuff everywhere, we're all like, "Are you pregnant?"
Oh, well, and that it like travels through work because once one of us kind of starts dropping something, and then like it just kind of, travels through each of us, and
It's
it's like, oh,
contagious.
it's gonna be one of those days. So, um, yeah, so I get it, but I go through bouts of being really clumsy. So,
Well, Barbara said she doesn't mind the clumsiness and getting the camera switched and all that stuff because she's happy to pay that price to get to see your face a minute ago. So
oh, good. Oh, okay, well,
you do the
here's
same
my
thing
book.
I do. You're just touching the book.
I know I can't help it. People always, but it's actually this right here is raised. So,
Yeah, it's a
but I
sensory experience to touch this
it
book.
is, and the pages are, they have a feel to them for
Yeah,
sure.
and there's two
I don't,
different types of pages, which I thought was interesting.
yes, yeah, those watercolor pages are really neat. So here we go. Whenever I first started working in this forever ago, and I don't remember when it was, I I had started with this, and I think I might have done I just had this on the bottom. I don't think I had these pictures here, but this was like the first thing that I did in it. Um, and then I did these two, and once again, I don't ever date anything. I always forget to date stuff, but I'm sure if I looked back in my on my Instagram or something, I could figure it out. But I would guess at least 2015, 2016. But
Yeah.
this, and I'm not even done with that. I guess that word was um, here for a reason. I don't know. I don't know. Here, oh, this is what there. I might just glue that down right now.
Might
I've
as well.
obviously
Why
had that sitting there for a really long so because the road was what is was there. This is a magazine image. Um, I'm gonna
were those lines radiating out from the road already there?
um I think so. They
Sometimes
look
it's
like
hard
they
to
were
remember.
drawn. I know. Um,
Barbara wants to
but,
know if this is one of the first books you started.
as far as like working in a book like this like on in a book with
Reverse collage type
pages
stuff.
for collage.
Yeah.
Um, I started in this is my first book for collage. So I started big. Um, and this I actually had this journal for many years. I had taken a Susie Blue class. I was at the other house. It was probably 2010, and it was she was trying to do something where it was kind of a year-long thing, and she fizzled out on it. But at the beginning, they showed how to make this journal, and so I had and this is made out of watercolor paper. So I had made this journal, but then, and she did a lot of drawing, and I just don't draw. It's just not my thing. I love it, and I wish that I could, but and she does all those amazing girls and faces and stuff, and it just wasn't me. And so then I just never did anything, any of the painting or anything in it whatsoever.
Yeah.
So this sat around for several years, um, without anything done in it at all. And I and then I'm wiping off the glue that I had moved that, and so there's wet glue here. Um, I discovered one day I discovered Kelly Kilmer, and she does magazine collage, but she does it with she has a lot of paint to hers.
Yeah.
And
Did you write
so I
these
was
names
really
down? Because I haven't heard of
yes,
either one of those ladies. Susie Blue.
yeah. Susie Blue. So Susie Blue's been around for a long time, and she draws the most beautiful girls. I mean, the shading and the faces, and I actually have her book.
What was
Um,
the other
but
girl's name?
Kelly Kilmer, and Kelly is very active. She's got a Facebook page. She's got she I'm not sure. I know that she always has stuff going on her blog and things like that. I don't know if she has any subscription type whatnot. She does have some classes that you can purchase. Um, but so this is like this is Susie's book, and this is
Oh,
really old.
okay.
But these are the types of, you know. So, um, so anyways, I had discovered Kelly and was really, really super inspired by her stuff. And so I started working in this. And once again, I didn't date any of these, but I know that I think it was 2014 because it wasn't much longer. It wasn't that long after I really started as far as uploading videos.
Yeah.
So, 'cause I streamed back in the day with everybody, with the gang. I used to do live streams on Ustream, and then
Right.
we moved, and then I just discovered iCAD, the index card a day, and all of that. And so I started making videos for those. I think 2000, which is interesting to see how much my style's kind of there, but then again, it's definitely changing. Um, but so this is my very first collage journal, which I think I've got a flip for it probably on my page. And I've tried back and forth with trying to write things in my journals, and I'm not good at writing stuff down.
I'm not either.
So, well, and a lot of it, um, it was, well, I was I didn't want what I needed to say. I didn't want it to be seen. I couldn't let it be seen.
Exactly.
So,
That's the kind of things you write and
yeah,
then you cover it up with your art
right,
or something.
right. So because I was
Yeah.
afraid that would be seen, and so then I kind of started figuring out that I could. I mean, a lot of these, it's my writing, but it's interesting to see because if you kind of know a little bit of if you followed me for a long time and seeing me go up and down, you can kind of see where a lot of this was coming from.
Yeah.
But um, but yeah, so this one actually has been published twice. This was the first time that I was ever published was with this journal, and they actually published it twice back to back. Um, but but yeah, so it has these fold out pages, which is really cool. Um, and then while I was making it, I had these leftover pieces of paper from making the big one, and I didn't want to throw them away. So I was inspired by Donna Downey and her Inspiration Wednesday. journals that she had, and she had these little partial pages in there, and so
Yeah,
that's
I like the
how
little
I
pages in there. That
yeah. So that's how I ended up and decided to put those. So I didn't want to throw that paper away, so I just added it. So it kind of makes these fun little tip ins. But I like these big fold out pages. Let's see.
yeah, that looks like a fun journal to work in.
Yeah. Um, so that's my first collage journal. But um, so and originally kind of what I thought I was going to do with this was just kind of alter some of the stuff.
Hold on
So I
just a second.
colored.
Let me do
Oh,
something. I want to
okay.
get go to that page too and see if so they can see what it looks like before you did your stuff to it.
Okay.
Um,
Well, so here's the front.
okay, it looks like that. Let me make us this direction so we can. There we go. We can see that. Oh, my camera's going nuts. Stop it. Okay, so this is what it looked like, and then that you can see what she's added into it. So you left some of the words, or did you cover them all up
For which
on
this one?
on that page?
Well, I left where it says a global approach to interior, and I covered. Does that say design? I covered that with ponderings, and then this where it has her name, I just put tape and I put my name.
Yeah, that's cool. That's smart.
So then, and even on this one, all I did was add some text right here, and then I wrote "Be brave" right here in the chair, and then I covered up that whole contents page with the
Yeah,
magazine image. But then on this one, all I did was I wrote a little bit down here, and then I think I used Neo Color 2s on here
uh-huh.
and just kind of tried to bring the tree out and made the sun brighter.
Yeah,
And
you
that's
can
a first,
definitely tell the
actually,
difference between my book,
yeah.
especially here and yours, where you've
Well,
done something. It actually does show up once you know what it looked like before,
right.
you know.
Yeah, especially the tree. And
Uh-huh.
actually, I dated this. This says July 17th, 2017. But I think this is kind of where I thought I was going to go with this. And then actually, on this page, I had taken gesso and had covered over all of the text. And
Right.
I think I might have done it on the next, I don't know, because I thought, well, maybe I'll cover this with gesso and I'll leave the pictures and then I'll journal, like write.
Oh,
So I
right.
originally, I originally was like, I'm going to use this to write, to journal in, to write in. And I can actually show you kind of where I'd gotten that idea. This is this it? Oh, that's my journaling by five journal. I've got stuff tucked around all over the place. It's silly. And this, because I had kind of tried to start doing daily journaling, and so this is a scout guide, and you can get them for different cities. And I had actually found it down in our downtown, and this is old, old, but um, but what I was doing, find the page where I had painted. So I was working in this and trying to really, really work on journaling, on writing stuff, and I really
Yeah.
liked this and liked how it was coming out. Um, but that's kind of what I thought I would do in this, because this, I covered that up with paint. But so that was the original idea as far as, oh goodness, as far as doing that. So I was like, well, I can cover over any of the place where there's text on there and write. So I really did enjoy how this one was coming out. But once again, I stopped. But that was like probably my big one attempt where I was actually getting some writing done. Um, so let's see. But so that's where I started with this one, and then I stopped. I didn't do
So
anything
on.
at all. And I don't know what even got me working in this again. I have no idea why. Um, but and I can't even remember exactly which was the first page. This one might have been the. No, I know this wasn't the first page. I think this might have been the first page.
I love that one. I remember that video.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So this, I
This
think
is
this
what it
might have
looked
been
like
the
before
first
she worked
page.
on it. So,
Yeah. So now, as I'm kind of looking at him, instead of obviously covering the text up with gesso, I've been covering it up um, with an image. So I
yeah.
doubt I'll do anything like that in here. Um,
Anything like the
but
gesso, you mean?
yeah, yeah, because I like this. I like how this is coming to
Yeah.
be. Um, and I'm for sure not working from the front to the back. Here's one that I just
Right. Just
set up.
find a page that's inspiring and go for it,
It is, and I think usually it's kind of starts with an image that I see that I like, and then I kind of flip through and see what where I think it would work. I for sure look at like the color, how it works on there. I want it to look like it was made to, I guess like it was there originally. I like
Right.
how I use the red here and whatnot to go with the red back there.
And it's
Um,
fun how much you can add in and have it look like it was not something you added in.
oh, for sure. See, because if I um, even,
I'm
there's
trying to
just a little
find
bit of writing down there. This is
oh,
like
there's
page 11.
where oh, I was gonna have him jumping down off that chair, I think, but okay, page 11.
Let's see.
No.
Yeah.
There's oh, that's where I'm at,
Um,
right here.
yeah, yeah.
There we go.
But even with that right there, that could be plenty. I really don't need to add anything else.
Yeah.
I would maybe give her wings just because I like to give all my girls wings. But and now since I've gotten so big into adding really detailed cutout florals to my stuff, I would maybe do that.
Yeah, Lisa
But
said she
yes,
watched that video yesterday, that it was very inspiring, and I'm not sure when she wrote that, so I'm not sure which page it was she was talking about,
that's
because
okay.
I just now noticed her comment, and so sorry, Lisa.
Well, and and with a lot of these, once again, see, I for sure it's like, well, color. The color is how these images land in there. I don't know if they'll stay in there.
Yeah,
Um, but see, even with this one, and I don't mind turning stuff on its side. It doesn't have to, it's my journal. I can do whatever I want to
that's right.
with it. I could even turn it that way, which
You
that would
could,
be
yes.
well, and even this, just with the stem of the flower with that line, that looks
Uh
kind of
huh.
cool. Let's see, I know I've got a couple other completed ones in here. But see, I need to start doing stuff because I've had these
Oh,
in
I
here
had to
for a
step
while,
in
and the
on that
bottoms
page
are,
so they can't see what the original looked like, but oh, there you
well,
go.
here's
There's
the
the
original.
original.
Yeah. So, um, and I'm gonna cut that out, so which will be really, really, really fragile.
Yeah, it's
Um,
one that you do, and then you glue it down immediately.
yes. Let's see what else. And I love, for some reason, I love this image here, and I think it's colors and that. So I don't know where I'll go with that, but this has been stuck in this spot for a really long time. Um, but all these pages that have the, the swatches on the side, I just absolutely love.
And I
Let's
think it's
see.
fun. I don't know if people can tell. Looking at this, it almost looks like a watercolor palette, but
Yeah,
like ticket shaped pieces of paper that have the paint color swatched on them,
Yeah,
and
it's
then
like
they're
paint
stapled
swatches.
down onto something else. It's an interesting way to do swatches.
Well, this one I really had all set up. So the
Oops,
sad thing is that I put these all together so long ago. I don't remember.
what you were thinking at the time.
Yeah, but it just kind of shows how I've just kind
Yeah.
of tucked
And
stuff
what
in
page are
here.
you on there?
This is page 100.
Okay, I'm way behind. Let me scooch up here.
Well, I skipped a bunch because I didn't have anything.
That's okay. I just
And I, well, and I like, I've been using a lot of these that I find in magazines where it's just got like the whole, you know, the whole text and words, and not just little
okay.
phrases here and there. I don't know
It's
exactly
weird.
what I was gonna. I kind of feel like I was gonna maybe put this. I don't know. I don't remember. It doesn't have a number on it. The page before it says 100
Yeah. Let's say here's my
or
page
99.
100.
No, wait. Did I look at it different? You know what I was looking at? I was looking at this. This is page 100. Oh goodness. It's page 50, 55, 58, which is not numbered. So,
Okay.
which I can, it's none of this is glued down, but it's just really pretty. I love the
There we
blues on
go. I love this too. I was thinking about maybe having animals peeking out of the spots and leaving the rope.
that. Oh
Oh,
yeah. Yes. Yes. Well, and that's the only thing that I kind of struggle with a lot of it is because I do like tucking stuff in, and I can't do that because
yeah.
it's a page.
You have
So,
to
because
do a fake tuck,
yeah,
which is a lot harder.
right. Let's see. Yeah, let's see. So this, and and with a lot of mine, I'm okay with it just being this. I'm not expecting to do some big whole huge massive, collage with all of them. If it's just the image on there that goes perfectly, then
Yeah.
then that's then that's okay. I'm okay with that. As
Whatever you
opposed
put
to
on there that
like,
makes you happy.
yeah, as opposed to like this, it's just
Yeah.
like I have no idea how many layers of flowers and whatnot are on here, and it's a lot, but a lot of times I think since sometimes mine are so involved, sometimes it just feels good and it's more soothing and comforting just to have this. And it probably helps because it might help keep it from getting so bulky so fast.
Right.
Let's see. Once again, I just got stuff kind of tucked in here. And I know I've got.
One thing, if the page like if it was this one and I wanted to tuck stuff, in it, if this page behind it wasn't something I'm interested in, then I could go ahead and tuck stuff, make my slits and tuck stuff in there and then put something else over it to be my background for the next one.
That's true. I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
Which I
So
guess if you really didn't like it at all, you could just glue them together.
that's true. You could do that
But
too.
yeah, I didn't think about just covering it up.
So it, just depending on what's on the other side, that it's still an option sometimes. So
Right. This is- And a lot of these, well, this is the cover of a magazine. Um, and some of them, you did inspire me when I was going through my stuff because I usually never cut anything out until I'm going to put it down. But when I was watching you work in yours last week, it's a lot easier to build your collages on there when you've got everything already cut out because you can, audition them in different places in different
yeah,
ways. It's easier
exactly.
as opposed to because I really don't cut anything out until I know I'm going to need it. but with my stack that I have, that I had a bunch of images for my abandoned collage book, my abandoned places book. I think I don't know where they're at, but I cut a bunch of them out. I was like, I'm just going to sit here and go ahead and trim things out. And, um,
There we are. I was trying to figure
so,
out where are you, but I found you.
but yeah, so this is the back cover of a magazine. Um, I do like these big, huge florals too.
Yeah, I like those too. I get those off of calendars. You know, you can get those big flowers off of calendars, and that's a good thing if you've got a page that doesn't inspire you the way it is. Then you can add something in there and make it do something that will does inspire you more. Like I
Right.
could do this, and let's see where did I put those? I'm not sure which pile of stuff. Okay, here it is. Having mushrooms coming out of this, by this foot of this tree.
Oh yeah, that's perfect.
But I'm going to go ahead and come back down because it's being that far away was making it hard to see. Anyway,
This this is a fun one that I don't have any words or ideas for this one, but the circle of
oh yeah,
this, and I've had this, out and about and kind of there's some images that I like just like, but I never know where I don't know where they hadn't found their home yet. And
right.
so I have a basket that's got some of them in them, and this is one that I had always had going, okay, I'm gonna save this for the perfect spot. And the circles on this. And as I was trimming something else out, I had gotten just this little part of a Ferris wheel. And as I was messing around with it, I was like, well, I could actually connect these together. And um, so that's
Oh
where that
wow.
one was going. Which, once again, this is on its side. It's not even the right direction, but because that
Uh
connects,
huh. But it
and that
connects.
almost
Yeah,
even,
that's cool.
yeah, see? So, and with this big circle in the background, this is from Flow magazine.
See, when you've got stuff already cut out, then you can just pull it over and try it out like this.
Yeah.
And I'm already happy. That's all it takes to make me happy on that page.
It's like, couldn't get your glue stick out now. Glue it down.
Yeah, just
Uh,
three things and I'm done.
do you ever
Look
add
at this.
words to
Look at
yours, or
this.
do
It
you
just
just kind of?
fits
No, that's
perfect in there.
perfect.
I mean, it's supposed to live there.
That's awesome. Well, yeah. See, so I don't know what I do with my pile. I'm usually not. The problem is that I went through so much stuff, and I thought I had checked all of my. Oh, you know what? I put them in the drawer. I actually put them away where they belonged. Imagine that.
Oh, well, good for you. It's hard to
How
find
about
things
that?
where they
Oh,
belong.
yes, sorry.
At least it is for
But
me. It's like, oh, it was right where it belongs. No wonder I found it.
yeah, but yeah. So I've just really kind of grabbed some stuff. These aren't fully cut out, but I do have some that I did. And once again, like I said, when I was going through everything, when I saw this, I was like, okay, that's really cool. That would look cool in my abandoned collage. Actually, this would probably look really cool on one of these pages too. Um, but and I just picked out just anything and everything, but I do have some that I finally cut out.
You found some fun stuff.
I did. I thought this one was funny, but this would be good in the abandoned collage book. But it's and that's why I like the abandoned. Oh, look, there's the one page I've done. I opened right up to it. We're switching back and forth to all sorts of different journals here.
Yeah.
Um, but this would, I don't know. The only thing that I wish that I hadn't done in this is that I did kind of glue stuff down, and I don't work like that. I have to
Yeah.
like
And
know
which book
exactly
is that?
what
The original
this
one
is.
or?
Yeah, abandoned
abandoned. Yeah,
places. Like, so this, it's already glued down. And now I'm kind of wishing that I hadn't because I had found something as I was going through all this and I was like, oh, I know exactly the page that I could put that on. Well, I can't because that's glued down.
right.
But
Yeah, and that's frustrating when you find the perfect thing after you found something you thought was okay.
yeah, but I just, yeah. So I wish that moving forward with this book, I'm not going to work in anything until, I know exactly how I'm gonna. Because there's a couple,
Yeah,
like I did that down in there.
I can't even
But
reach my abandoned book right now, so I can't show you what I've done in it. But um,
excuse me. So yeah, but you definitely, I have a stack of ones that I cut out, like for real. Um, but because I thought I really like the that you can do that you can just um, go ahead and place them on there and see what they look like. Ah, let's see. Oops. But that's what's fun about the abandoned, excuse me, the abandoned places book is that you can do whatever you want in there, and it just doesn't matter.
that's
And that's, yeah, and for sure with this one, I've got a specific vibe to it. With my regular collage book, that has a specific vibe, but that abandoned places book, it's like it just doesn't matter. I need to do just whatever. It's like you got
whatever.
free
Yeah, and
reign.
I like that too because, well, and there's, I started out trying to do the kinds of things Dee Dee did in it, and I'm not as good at that as she is, and so I wasn't
Right.
happy with what I did. So then I went on and started just doing what I wanted to do and what seemed to, work for me.
Well, and yeah, and that's kind of the same for me because I've got that one page where I did it like Dee Dee, and it was a lot of fun. I had a blast doing it, but gosh, I don't know if I could do that through the whole book
Yeah.
because it's just and I think it's just because I'm not as confident with my painting skills,
I'm definitely not. Yeah.
and so because her stuff is just absolutely amazing. But let's see. But yeah, so I just kind of got stuff tucked in and around. There's another one of those I just love. Um, but I think I was going to cut that out. I don't know if I've got any more done in this because I just kind of stopped. But that's there.
I
And
think I'm going to go ahead and go back to the other screens where we're closer up. They won't be able to see the whole books, um, but it's easier to see what we're doing that way anyway.
okay.
So
What if
I just went ahead and did that since,
I glue it down?
since it made me happy. I glued it down. So
Yeah, that's it. That's all I've got tucked in there. Um, but then just the types of ones that I pulled out that when I saw them, I knew that they would go in. There's just kind of stuff like this. Because then you know, uh, since I use a lot of the images that I use for sure in my collage journal are from Bella Grace. These are all from a hodgepodge of all sorts of places. But
uh-huh.
some of theirs are so pretty that I feel guilty about throwing them away. So
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
because even this one, I had saved it, but looking at it, I'm like, well, I like the image a lot, but I wouldn't use it in my journal. But as I was looking at it differently the other day, I could, I've got my little basket of clipped out things. I could tuck a watch in there, a watch face. I know I have a smaller one. Um, you know, I could I could put things in there to make it look like she's holding those
Right. Yeah.
instead, instead of the tomatoes. So then that would be cool for me to use, and then it would work in this book. So I could even put a
Barbara lost
couple.
the internet for a minute, but she's back. We're glad you're back, Barbara.
Yes, we are. that this is this basket. I have this beside me on my easel over there where I've been doing a lot of my work lately. And it's just got even the edges of images that I've cut off because sometimes
Yeah.
I'll use just need to tuck them in or
You
just
use
flowers.
straight pieces of cut images really effectively. That is one of the things that I can't I want to emulate, but I can't get it to look as effective as you do. You do a great job with that. When in that little book where that I was showing Monday, where I was trying to do some of what you did in your
Yeah.
little book, you do that really well in there.
So
I
what do
did
you
it a few
mean?
times, but well, let me find that book and show you just the one page that I remember where it was like that. Oh, I don't know how to describe it very well, but okay. Let me find something
Aren't they the
similar.
don't you love these big old chunky?
I do.
Let's see, here's my this one's
For nothing,
my
if nothing else, they make you feel like you've actually accomplished something.
I know.
Okay, where is it? Because I didn't do very many that ended up looking like that, uh, because I just couldn't get them to come out where they made me happy, like they did when I watched you do it. But oh, okay,
See, because I just can't throw anything away. I mean, this here is just actually these are the trimmed off pieces from that my page in that abandoned places one
yeah,
that look like
stuff
the
like
dewy
that,
stuff.
and
So
kind of
it's
like
like,
this, where there's just three pieces of background and then an image, you know. Uh,
uh-huh.
but I'm trying to find the one that I think most emulated your style that I really loved, and the one I did that I actually liked. Okay, where is it?
This is my one where I'm excuse me, where I'm trying to do a page a day in here. And so far,
See,
I
here's one
am
that's similar, where there's um, it's mostly just rectangles and straight things, but it makes such a pleasing um thing, and I anyway, I just haven't found a way to do that where it just worked as well as it does for you. This one um is the one I really liked that I
excuse me.
did, and this one, these two
Oh yeah, yes, yeah,
that look more like your work, like those right there. Yeah,
yeah.
but I love this little book. Um, that was one of my funnest projects that I've done is working through this book while I watched your videos.
Well, and
I
those
think
are
it's
nice because
organized
they're,
to work in too.
excuse me. And that's why I don't like throwing stuff away because I can, use them to tuck into and make something.
Uh huh.
So, yeah, this is my daily. And a couple of these I did while I was out of town. I did these three when I was in the hotel room. So, I just I have a little bag that's got a few things in it, and it doesn't take a lot to even just make something quick and small and on the fly. So,
Yeah.
um, but yeah, these are just kind of ones that I had pulled out that I thought would work in here. But then before I forget, because when we were talking about collage and you had the
Lisa asks if your little books are planner books.
um
Mine is just it was just a trip log where you can it had quotes and stuff in it. I left those alone. But on the other pages like this, you would answer questions about where you went that day or whatever is what mine was.
these are the let's see. This one is actually a moleskin daily, a page a day, and I don't know if they make this one anymore. And when I had started it, what's her name? on Instagram. I think it's Draw Riot, and this is a 2017, so that tells you how long ago this was. But she had a 365-day challenge that she was doing, and so each day she had a word. And so I had started with that, and then I started the 100. So 2018, um, and that's what a lot of these are. But then I fizzled out on that because it's a lot. Um,
Yeah. Well, you did a lot.
it's a
And
lot.
it's a
And
full it's a full book even if you didn't
it,
finish it.
yeah,
I was
so
trying to
and
see if
I
I have a date on when I was doing this. I
yeah, and
started
and I
April 12th, 2018 and finished it July 10th, 2018. It's also the
yeah, and
fastest
I
I've ever finished a book.
oh gosh, I know. Well, and I I struggle with prompts.
I do
Sometimes they
too.
help me, but a lot of times they just shut me down.
Yeah.
And I think that's where, because if it's not a word that I resonate with whatsoever, then I'm kind of like, mm. And so then I would force myself to do whatever to work with the prompt, but then I didn't like what I did,
Yeah.
So I think
We-
that's part of why I kind of
I used
stopped.
to go ahead and try to do that if I was doing something and and it wasn't I wasn't really making me happy, but I had committed to it.
Hmm.
But after my
Yeah, and I,
husband passed away so suddenly in December of 2021, I decided, I'm not doing that anymore. If I'm not interested anymore, I'm quitting and going on to something I'm interested in because you just
oh, for
don't know.
sure. Right, exactly. Well, and
So,
see, and I think I made this through the end of May is when I stopped, and I bet you can see how my pages change.
uh huh. Ooh, I like
So,
that one right there with the
yeah.
leaves or whatever. That's kind of all. Yeah. Uh huh.
So you can tell I don't even know if I was still doing the prompt by here, but you can see how much then they really change when I'm doing now. This was me just trying to do a page a day. And look how much more I don't know, it feels more like me than a lot of this stuff back here where I was
Yeah.
forcing myself to, you know, to fulfill the prompt.
Yeah.
But
And
that's
then
what this is.
I know when I do like iCads, the
Yes.
with
Oh yeah.
when I do that challenge, I never use the prompts.
I never did either. Yeah. This one here, it's in a Midori Traveler's Notebook pocket size is what I just keep it in. Just 'cause I've got this and I wasn't using it. But these are log and jotters, and they're the same size as a field notes. And so it's just a little notebook, it's just a little, let me find a field note. This is actually a field note. You can't see that it is. I don't think you can see the writing on it. I don't know if this is the one I think this is one where if you put it your hand in the sun. So these are field notes and it's the same size. But this is a Made in America company and it's a subscription, but it's the same size as field notes. But each month you get one mailed to you and they have a different cover on them.
Oh, those are
And
cute.
aren't they fun? And so I have been, oh gosh, I'm embarrassed at how many of these that I have and I haven't used. And that's why I'm doing my my page a day in this so that I can use some of these up because I love
Yeah.
them. I think I've got like 40 pages in it. But so every month you get one, and I'm pretty sure it's $5. The cover is different each month, but you can choose between dot grid, lined, or blank paper.
Yeah.
And I get the dot grid, but they've always got kind of like little prompt ideas or whatever in there. And it's the front sneaks. It's got you know,
Yeah.
that's how I changed it. So um,
Very
so
cute.
that's what these are. So these are just little notebooks, but they're great, and it's easy because I can shove it in my. I have like a backpack purse, and so I can shove it in my bag. Um, I don't want to. I can't show the front of my this. It looks cute and girly, but it has a bad word on the front. um, so um, but this I've just got just different ephemera type stuff in here. I've got some
Hi,
smaller Bella
Kathleen. We're
Grace.
glad you're here. Hi, Teresa. Oh, hugs, honey. I understand. Teresa says after Rick passed away, I just can't seem to get my mojo back to want to do anything. And I'm
Oh,
still
right.
kind of half in and out of that place, Teresa. It's hard. I completely understand.
Yes.
When
I
those
can't I
traumatic
can't
things
say that
happen, you just have to.
yes. Yes. I was gonna say I can't understand where on my level yeah, it takes a while. It knocks you flat for a bit. So
Yeah.
um but
Because,
and I think
all those big
that's
life changes that you weren't expecting or wanting,
oh yeah,
um,
right.
they're hard.
Yes, they are, and I for sure I probably went through a good. I think I went maybe almost a year in a dry spell, if not longer. Um, so it did. It just kind of. I mean, it was there, and I wanted to do stuff, and I had ideas, and but I just couldn't get myself to even crack open my journal. I just was like,
Yeah. Well,
no,
that's kind of like I've been since I brought stuff in to Fussy Cut, I've been doing a little bit of that lately. But for a while I didn't even want to do that. Or I would look at my spinning wheel and I would think, I really want to spin, but I just don't have the desire good strong enough to get up and go over there and get it out and do it. you
right.
know.
No, yeah, it's true. It's frustrating. For me, it was a very frustrating place to be, because it's like I could see it happening and I knew what was going on, with me
Yeah.
and why I wasn't doing these things. And it's like, what is it's like, no, I want to do this. And before working in my journal was something that helped me through everything. And here I was going through some crazy stuff. I lost my nephew, I lost my mom, and adjusting to being on my own. And that was like the one place where I always went to. But for some crazy reason, when I needed it the most, it
It
was
just
just gone.
abandoned you.
It did.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
um, I was watching Dee Dee one day, and I must have been home. It must have been, well, actually, I think it was during the summer, and I hadn't watched any streams in forever. I was completely just not in contact with any of that. And for some reason, one morning, I was like, I should turn Dee Dee on, and she was working in her Abandoned Places book, and I watched it, and um, for some reason, that just kind of lit a little spark. It just kind of lit a little something back in the back of my head somewhere, and that kind of that thought wasn't going away. And so finally, I was like, okay. And so I went and sat on the floor over in the corner. I've got my bookshelves, and it has all of my um, the books in it that I get collage stuff out of, like stuff that you would find, kind of like stuff that she uses as far as the bigger. Um, I have one that's got skyscrapers and planets and um,
Yeah.
just things like that. And I sat on the floor and I pulled out a book that had these skyscrapers in it, and I was just kind of looking through it, and beside it I had a pile of calendar pages, and I was kind of looking through those, and then I realized that like this is the calendar page, this butterfly on this flower. I realized that this um, kind of matched this skyscraper that was in that
Oh,
book.
uh-huh.
And so, see, then I was,
Oh, how
see how
cool.
that kind
Yeah.
of, yeah. And so I I pulled those out. Actually, I had a couple of different building ones that I pulled out, and I just kind of, sat there and just slowly by slow, it just kind of started growing. And this was the first page that I did in, well, I made this book in on April 26, 2015. And I did this page, this page. There's just a couple, like these first few pages for ones that I did in it. And then there's a few in here where I was just gluing stuff down to glue stuff down and pushing it, and I didn't like the pages at all. And so I just stopped working in it. And so has been on my shelf since 2015. But for some reason, I don't know why, I don't know what it was, but just watching her that day, it just, I didn't, and I tell you, it probably took me a month to lay this out because I would work on it a little bit and then I kind of set it to the side and it's like, well, this is like not like anything I've done at all, because it didn't look like any of my other collage stuff. And but then I just kind of kept going and going and going and um, just little bit by little bit, little bit by little bit, I would add to it and find another image. And then I ended up with this page. This is actually a page, and it had like a lady on a couch, and I was going to use it, but then after I started looking and stuff, it's like, well, no, I don't like how that's going to be, and so then it just grew into
Yeah.
to all
I
of
like how
this.
the first lady looks a little bit lost.
Right,
Uh-huh. And the other one looks more content.
right, yeah, yep,
So,
yeah. See, and so then it's like, well, so then this turned into this big old huge ordeal. It's like, well, I wanted this to line up with that. Well, to make that happen, then I had to do, I had
a
to do
bunch
this
of other stuff.
one. Well, then it's like, well, I've got this, and here is the other half of this page. This is one whole page. So this is the page. So this was actually the first time that I did this crazy fussy cutting.
Oh,
And so
that's impressive. It's
all of
beautiful.
this is cut out. So this is what it looked like. This is the other half.
Yeah.
And so then I just kind of made it to where it all, and I haven't added any words to this. I've kind of got something on a note that it's like, well, maybe I'll write that there, but I don't know. But then that just, once I did this, and I think I thought that I'd forgotten how to do collage. It had been so long, and I was like, well, I just can't do this anymore. So why should I even bother?
Yeah.
And um, but then after I did this, I was like, okay, you know, I, this is okay. It's still there. I've just gotta, it's just time to to start doing it again. And so I did it bit by bit. And I think just discovering this also helped because I felt like I kind of felt stuck in a rut and I wanted to try to branch out and be doing something different, branch out. Um,
Very good.
Uh, but I think discovering this and how much I like it just really helped. It made me excited to want to to do more and to figure out other ways where I can put these bigger, like this lilac is all separate and cut out.
Uh-huh.
Um, so that this is an old page. But the other thing is that I tried to combine the older pages with a new page. So, because these I did in 2015, this I did this summer, but they kind of, go together.
Yeah.
So I took this necklace and
The necklace,
draped it
it
around
really did.
her. Yeah. So you would think that I did it all at the same time, but I didn't.
That's very
The
smart.
same thing with this. This is the old page, and here's the new, or it's these two. So it looks like I did them all at the same time. But once again, this is all cut out. So I've really gotten into this cutting out these really intricate
Uh-huh.
um,
Oh, I love the
designs.
way you took that watch in there. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
So watches and butterfly wings. This is an old page. And there's a couple in here that I just didn't like at all. And I know for sure there was one here, and I was like, I covered it up. And actually there was a page here that I didn't like, and I covered it up. I was like, I don't like it. I knew it was something forced and it wasn't making me happy. And so
Barbara
this is
says
an
that's
old,
a neat idea, Diane, to tip in new pages into the old book. So cool.
yeah. So, and it makes it all kind of, yeah, cohesive where it, Just works together. And I have, uh-oh, that goes over there. This is actually the back cover of a Bella Grace magazine because I liked that. And you know how they have it so that they're folded in on the back, that
Right.
back cover. So I taped that in to use it as a page. And this is the back of the Bella Grace. Um, so, but yeah, lots of more really cutting things out. But this one's almost done. Um, this is another really intricate one. But then I kind of gotten to where I like having these big spreads, having them flow together. So a lot of times I'm having to picture things, to where they'll all, which makes it kind of difficult, but it's a fun challenge.
Yeah.
This is one I'm getting ready to work on next, which I did a really bad job gluing this down, but I'm gonna have her on there and then just have a bunch of flowers and whatnot going through there. But I'm almost finished. It's getting hard to work in because it's so, I wish I would have thought to do what I've heard you say about, doing some in the front, doing some in the back, and because now I've gotten to where it's curved so much that it's really, really difficult
Yeah.
to work on these pages and glue stuff down. Um, and the other thing that I don't worry about are wrinkles. I don't know if you can tell, but she's not glued down well at all, and it's
Yeah. You really
wrinkly, and
can't
that's
tell
what,
from here.
yeah, yeah, it's wrinkly, and that's okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I it's okay. I don't mind if it's not glued down perfect because that's not, I guess, what's totally important to me is doing the page and all of that is what makes me happy. So, anyways, got off on that topic. Oh, the other thing I wanted to show you real quick, which we talked about, was we were talking about the little
Oh, yeah. Let
mini.
me make you big and see if you can show us that.
Excuse me.
That is
So this is
adorable.
yeah. So this is a slide, and I bought this at a little craft thing, craft booth at a lavender festival. But so it's got these little tiny pages in here, and I've only done a couple, but they
Oh,
were a lot
yeah.
of fun.
I love it. That reminds me, it's not the same, but it's similar in size. Well, no, actually, this one's actually bigger than I thought, bigger than I remember. But I'll show you what I'm talking about in just a minute. But I want to see the rest of your book first.
Yeah. But yeah, so I, cut that out. It's a little ring, and this was really difficult. This is teeny. This part on her head is a little piece that I cut. I think that's it. Oh, might be one more.
Oh, those
So,
are fun. Yeah.
and for some reason, I'd been going with vintage type, you know, images on
Uh
these.
huh.
So, but that's,
That is really cute.
I've got another one that I bought from her that's made, excuse me, from the Monopoly. Oh, I have a page in that.
Yeah,
So,
that's cute. I made one out of paint chips,
oh,
but I was using stamps for my focal points on them. So
okay. Oh, I see, I see. Okay, now I see the back. That's really cool.
I
Well, I
haven't
wonder how
finished
many
it.
those
Um,
poor people at Home Depot and all of us walking in there and snagging the paint chips all the time.
yeah. Well, I did it one time and enough to make this book. And then I've gathered some others from when Hannah wanted to paint her bedroom and things like that. So I do have other paint chips, but this is getting them for this book is the first time I've gone in there and go, oh, these are the right size chips. I'm going to get colors I like. And
That's super cute.
And then this was just the cover from a box of colored pencils. So I made that my cover.
So
But
then
that
with
was
those, so do those pop out of those? Do you take them
I
out whenever
will.
you work on it,
Yeah,
or
you
do you
just
leave
take them
them?
out. Um, and I gave away my whole set of all of this stuff and the thing to cut the pages and everything. So, because this is not my favorite style of um, putting a book together, but after I did this, I thought I don't think I really want to work in another book like that. So I gave the rest of my stuff like that away. But it is nice to be able to take them out.
See, and I don't care for that because I'm left-handed, and so that
Me
having
too.
that, that's just having that big clunky thing, right? I'm just like, no, I'm just,
Yeah, I
yep,
hadn't thought about that being the reason, but it probably is part of the reason because it
yeah,
just gets in your way.
it does. So I've never gotten anything that is made with those, or even any of the planners that were like that. I like the idea that you can take stuff in and out, um,
Yeah.
but no, I need to move these support page. Um, yeah, it's just too thick. I think I might. I think this one has everything together. I just need to try to refresh my memory on how I was thinking about doing it.
I was trying to find that same page. So I'll see if I can figure out
Mm.
something to work on that same page while you're doing that.
Well, and a lot of times, even when, excuse me, when there's writing, I'll either try to cover it up or I'll even take a little bit of acrylic paint and cover over that.
Yeah.
I know that I was gonna put,
It's a pineapple. I could put a pineapple in there.
don't, I feel, gosh, it was so long since I did this. Okay. And this is actually one of those wall decals. I got these at Hobby Lobby. I think they're on clearance or something. So
Oh, uh-huh. I have a
they
few of
work.
those that came from Dollar Tree.
Yeah, they work great in my journal. Let's see if I can remember how it was.
Hi, Becky. So glad you're here. Aunt Beck's Creations, Becky, is here.
Hey,
She
Becky.
is, uh-huh,
Ah,
she is
okay, so
making
Becky.
Italian bread.
Oh, well, and I was working last night, Becky, when you and your husband was on. I was working on something, and it was so nice just to like sit there, and it kind of felt like you were sitting in my room talking to me. So it was really it was funny. It was very nice just to sit and be like chatting and talking, and I'm sure that I answered a few times and you didn't hear me, but um I don't remember what I was working on, but when
You
it
talk
when
out loud to people.
I talk out loud, I have to talk out loud to myself a lot of times. So
Yeah, I do too. Both other people and
yeah,
myself.
yeah. So but it was just what I needed at the time. So, but and it was neat. So, but a lot of times I'm working on stuff, and if I'm feeling lonely, I've realized that and it was the New Year's Eve live streams is what saved me, and helped me realize that when I am feeling, if it's a little bit too quiet, that's the first thing I do is I check and see if anybody's online. And a lot of times I'm not in the conversation because I'm trying to work on something, but it sure is nice to have somebody talking and just kind of hearing and makes you not feel as lonesome.
Yes, it
Let's
does help.
see.
Look at this guy. His face, he looks so shocked. Oh, I don't know what I'm gonna have him
Oh my
looking at,
gosh.
but I think he's hilarious.
I have not. I can. No, I haven't talked about organizing images at all, but I can, because that's what I'm. I mean, I'm standing here and I've got a stack of magazines that I'm getting ready to go through, and it comes up to the bottom underneath my knee. So I got into my head that I need to get these out of here. I've got magazines that I've had since, golly, 2018 and who knows when. So they're taking up space, and I that's what I'm working on. But um, so when I first started when I
um,
first started collage,
Diane,
since I
let me
what
pause you just a second. I'm
okay
going to make you big, and I'm going to run in and check on my puppies, and then
okay
I'll come back and listen to some more of your tips. But I'll have to miss a few.
okay
I'll be back in a
um
minute.
okay when I first started doing collage, I didn't have a lot of magazines and of images, and I saved everything because I was learning and I didn't know what I would need and what I didn't need. So I pretty much saved everything out of the magazines. And at first, I think I used to I used to organize things in just a big Ziploc bag. So whatever size Ziploc bag it is that, was big enough for a magazine, I just had a Ziploc bag. Um, and I've always, even starting back then, I've always had to sort them in some sort of a category. So and at first it was really general, but I had faces. So I had like a bag that was just faces, like, like this. And then I had a bag that had like, more of the whole body. Um, and then I think I had one with probably outdoors. I know I had one with flowers, just things like that. So, excuse me. Um, if you're starting out with trying to figure out how to organize your images, I would think about what you have the most of, what and this is what I recommend when it comes to even just choosing the types of magazines to find your images from. Go with what you like and with what makes you happy. Um, and then just kind of start from there. So with me, I was using um, pictures of pictures of ladies, and I was using a lot of flowers, a lot of florals. This is my last, let me get my old one. Um, and I was using watches a lot and things like that. So those are the types of categories that I have. I don't use animals, but if you like using animals, then have that as one of your categories. Um, I don't use food a lot, but if that's something that you like using, pictures of fruit or vegetables or things like that, then have a category for that. So just kind of make it to where it's things that that you'll be using. Because when I'm starting a page, I it's like I usually know that I'm going to start with a woman. It kind of depends if I have um I start in two places. I either start with knowing the words that I want to use, or I start with like an image that has inspired me that I know that I want to use. So just for an example, I've had this one sitting. This is a new one that I just pulled out. And so this right here would be a starting place for me for a page in my journal. Um, so, um, but that's how I kind of know where to look as far as the category. I I love seeing people's messy spaces where they've got all their stuff out and you've got everything just in these big piles and it's just all over and it's colorful and I think it's absolutely beautiful. But I have to have my stuff. I have to have my stuff organized. And I think where that came from is for forever. Well, and I have 5 kids, so I've always had people in my stuff, and kind of like, and I have always been, my kids have always had a place beside me to where they can work. In this area that I have, the side that I've got 2 big drawers in it, and they always had the other drawer, and it had all of their supplies in it. So I don't mean it as in I didn't let my kids touch any of my things because that's far from it. All of my kids have grown up beside me working on stuff, but organizing my things is like one way for me to keep it mine. And that was like the one thing in my studio that I had control over. So I have to have my images organized. But it also helps me because then I don't spend a lot of time looking for something, which also goes back to being a full-time mom. You've got, a lot of times I would only have a few minutes to work on something. Well, I wanted to be able to spend that time actually creating the thing, not spending that time looking for the image that I was looking for. So that's another reason why I have everything so organized.
Dawn
But so that
says, um, she's responding to something you said. She says, I use some of that. People, florals, foliage, wings and things, forest animals, etc.
right, and that would be the easiest place to start with just and it, and then just kind of get your general categories that that would work for you. And then as you start getting more and more, collecting more and more images, if you see that you're all of a sudden you're drawn to having, pictures of the ocean or something like that, then I for sure would, if you have the space, start that in its own category. But once again, that's just me. And it is more soothing for me to just know exactly where I need to go to find something. I do, though, have on my work area, and I keep this out all the time. I do have this tin, and this is just an old TV tray type tin, and this is just kind of all sorts of stuff. It's pretty much basically people, but it's a lot of ones that I've seen that I really like, and excuse me, that I know that I'll probably want to use. And so I do have this, and I work out of this a lot. And then if I find something and then I want to add to it, if I see her and it's like, okay, well, I'm gonna put, I want to put like a watch behind her head, then I would grab my folder that is all just watches, because then I would know, okay, all I have to do is open up this drawer and I've got, a bunch of watches. If I want to add wings, then I open up my drawer that has my butterflies in it and insects, and all of those are right there. So I don't have to waste time looking. I can act on immediately, almost immediately with like whatever idea, whatever inspiration comes to my mind next. Um, but, so yeah, I started with Ziploc bags, and then I think I might have moved into maybe pocket folders or something like that, because of course I was getting more and more stuff. Um, and when I had the Ziploc bags, I just had it almost in kind of like something like this. I just had them all stacked up in there. And then I also
Yeah.
had a bag for clipped out words and phrases. I had all those in a plastic bag. And that worked really well. Um, and then I think I already had a bunch of the iris cards with like the 6 drawers, the plastic cards that, the drawer units from the
Yeah.
office store. I think I already had a few of those that had other things in it. And as I was working more and more and more on collage, I decided to move my images into those drawers. And that's how my collage stuff has been organized for a really, really long time now. And it works really, really well for me. I know exactly where everything is. Like this one is pretty general because it's just Bella Grace. Because since I use Bella Grace images so much, I don't put those in my other categories, like, like I have people's faces in here, but I don't have it in my people drawer. I have it in here.
Do
Um,
you do that because the Bella Grace kind of has a its own um how do I want to say it? Its own aesthetic
yeah,
that all
yes.
kind of goes together.
I think so, because yeah, because I know that I like a lot of their images. I like them also because the paper's thick. Um, and so it's just nice to work with. And so lately, I tend to just use them quite a bit. Um, so I've got like, this is Bella Gray small, so this is more of the smaller ones. And then I have one that's Bella Grace large, so it's just, excuse me, a full sheet. Um, but then everything else is organized by categories. I don't have a drawer for everything. Like I do have one drawer that's got um, uh, like watches. So I have, so here's all my watches, and then this one's just like jewelry. But these are in the same drawer. Um, let's see. Excuse me. I am coming out of like a bad cold. I've been sick for about 3 weeks.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Um,
That's hard.
ugh,
Bye,
ugh.
Carol. Thanks for
Bye,
coming.
bye, Carol. Thank you. Um, so, so yeah, that's pretty much how I have my images. The only place where that changes a little bit is I do have a drawer that's called backgrounds, and it's down here at the bottom. I can't reach it. And the backgrounds, I have them organized in file folders by color. Let's see if I can get them out. And I don't use them, um, like you might be thinking, as far as I don't use them as a background, like on a page in my journal. So like this one here, this here is one image. Um, this would actually was probably in like the indoors, outdoors drawer. For backgrounds, it's ones that where it's, I think, well, it's ones that I would use in especially some of these smaller collages or um, if I did postcards or like collage ATCs and things like that. Um, I would use those as the starting place for for that collage. So these are more where, and I think I even have a little mat here that I cut out. Okay, so this is just a piece of watercolor paper that has a index card size space cut out of it because I was doing iCads a lot. I think these are all iCads. I have not done iCads in a really long time. But here's an example. So this right here is like nail polish. So I put this down first. Well, I was able to find that and use that because I keep stuff like this. Well, here's some lipstick. So if I use this, then I can place that on there, and that's how I can see how that would work on like a card like this. So that's what I mean when I say background. So it's anything, it's usually something colorful, something graphic that I think, well, that would work for a background to like a smaller collage card. But
Uh huh.
that's what these are. But it's all, and these are by color. But anything where it's got like for sure, a lot of texture because I love my texture. But having this like that, and I have another one of these that's cut in an ATC size. But that way I can kind of move it around and see what part of the image would work. But these are organized by color. And I don't use these a lot, but I also haven't been doing this type of collage for quite a while. But
Yeah.
this is just like just all sorts of everything. But it's fun to have for good starting places, um, just for smaller cards and things like that. But it's nothing that will end up in my regular collage journals. It might, some of it might, but I think I have another one of these that's the size of a postcard. So this is something I need to get back out and revisit because I've
Becky
got this.
said she loves to utilize a window.
Oh yes, yes, yes. I mean it's cool because it just really kind of helps to see things completely different, especially just things that you wouldn't maybe normally think would work for, especially when you're just going through and harvesting images. Because I know I've got whenever I was pulling some out that I had several that I was like, okay, this would work for a background. And here's some like this right here. I think this is just like cookie dough.
It's a
Like
cool
these.
picture though.
But isn't that cool? See, so I
Yeah.
see that and it's like, okay, that would be awesome on, on a page, on a collage page. So that's what I'm looking for whenever I'm harvesting stuff. And for sure, just like, because even this, it's like,
It suddenly becomes an abstract piece of art instead of
it
an
does.
advertisement.
Right, right. And I think that's another reason why I like collage so much, because it really makes you look at things differently. I mean, it's like even just these ones of makeup. I mean, you can still turn something, you can turn it into something really, really cool. So that's, or the makeup ones are. All right, here with the wood, normally you might throw that away. You wouldn't think that you could use that page, but actually it would make a neat background for a card. So
Well, we've been
these are
picking your
the,
brain and not letting you even work.
that's okay. This is fun. I don't mind. I don't mind talking about
Appreciate
it at
that
all.
you're willing to share
Yeah,
your plans
yeah,
and thoughts and all of that because it does help
yeah.
to hear how other people do things.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. And and it's such a huge job. I mean, just trying to, and I think the thing that you've got to um also just kind of think about is that it's always going to be changing, you know, and mine's changed a lot. And I think the only thing that has stayed the same in here in my studio space this whole time since I have what I'm working on. Um, so whenever I ended up moving into our formal dining room, and my ex-husband actually had the idea, but he got the two bottom cabinets that go in a kitchen with the drawers. So it has a drawer, and then it has the doors that open, and then just a long countertop. And so that's what the main space that I work at. And the countertop's really long, which I wanted it that way because I always had, my one of my kids was somebody was always working beside me, so there needed to be space.
Right.
Um, but it things have changed as far as what I've got on top. It's gone through many different things, but the only thing that stayed the same is I've got this one drawer off to my left, and that has always been the same. It's got the same stuff in it. It's got it's got like my scissors, and it's got like a pin, and it has my X-Acto knives, and just kind of my basic stuff's always been that way. But as I've gone through just these different well, just kind of whatever I'm really, really, really into at that time, that is I will move stuff around to where that's kind of what's here. That's what's easiest for me to grab.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of why I'm feeling the need to really move things around again, is because I've got some things back in my closet and I forget about it. And so it's like, no, I want to be working on that. Well, the only way I'm going to remember it is if I've got it here and out.
Right.
So The other thing that I'm really, really thinking about is I've got, and I showed it in my video yesterday, is the where I've got all those, I've got a bunch of scrapbooking paper organized by color, and then I've got all of my embellishments organized by color. I've got hundreds and hundreds of things in those drawers, and they've just been sitting there for years because I forget they're there.
Right.
Um, but a lot of that is stuff that I could use, especially in my little collage, my little daily thing, you know. In fact, I had opened that one of those drawers up the other day and found rub-ons, and it's like, oh my gosh, you know, I'm surprised they even worked. They're so old, but I was, so that's what I used on here. So I think I want to try to start using that stuff because it's just sitting there taking up space. So I'm kind of in the mentality of it's I either need to decide if I'm going to use this stuff, and if I'm not, it's got to go. So
Yeah.
because I've
I'm
been
kind of in
hanging
that
on to it.
place right now too. My problem is that I tend to like to come back to things and do them again later, the same thing. I mean, like for a long time all I did was spinning and weaving, and then I started doing paper crafts, and so I didn't spend much time spinning and weaving, but I know I don't want to get rid of my spinning and weaving stuff because I'm going to want to do it again, so deciding which things I'm going to really want to revisit and which things I'm not is where I have trouble.
Right.
What can I get
Yep.
rid of without um messing up my chance to come back and do those things again when I'm in the mood?
Right. Well, yeah, because I've got like all my cross stitching stuff. I've had that stuff since, gosh, we were in Arkansas since 1994. You know, but it's like I've been carrying it around, and it's like, nope, because I love doing it. I just haven't been a time and place yet in my life where I can sit and do that. But I know that eventually I will be, and then I'll be like, well, darn it, I wish I hadn't gotten rid of that, you know.
Yeah.
So,
Well, that's like
I mean,
I bought a ton of scrapbooking stuff um right after well, like a year before my son was born. So it'd be like 24 years ago, 25 years ago. And and I started trying to make a scrapbook, and I just didn't enjoy it. And I really wanted to enjoy it. I wanted to be one of those scrapbook people, but I'm not a scrapbook person.
I
And
yeah,
and so I had all this stuff, and I thought I'm not a scrapbook person. I'm never going to use this. And so I got rid of a bunch of it. And then Hannah got old enough to want to do crafty things, and I was like, "Oh, I had all this stuff."
yes. Well, right, and that's another reason why I haven't gotten rid of some of my stuff. 'Cause it's like, well, what if somebody needs it for some project, or you
Yeah.
know, but it's hard. But I'm really really close to where I'm just like it's some of this is it's just gotta go. Well, and I just don't have space. I donated when I moved. I donated probably over half of my scrapbooking stuff. Because I was like, no, it's gotta go. I'm not, you know, I'm not gonna do this, and it just needs to go. So I donated it to my Girl Scout Council, and it felt good, you know. The only stuff that I've still held on to, I have, I do still have quite a bit. Some
Uh-oh, we lost her. Oh dear. I don't know what happened. She disappeared. I don't know if she lost her internet or what. We'll see if she can come back. But I'm gonna have to get off at 4:30 because I gotta be the puppy taker care of her. Oh, I was trying to cut this out and it was not working, so I decided just to cut the leaves out individually, and I'll make them work some other way. So okay, it was her phone. All right, she'll be back. Um, I'm trying to decide. I kind of like this lady and the butterfly together. They really pop on this page. Um, yeah, her phone died. She's gonna try to plug it in and come back, I think. So I'm gonna just stick those over there for now. Scott is trying to make a part to fix Becky's reverse on her quilting star. Oh, I hope he can do that for you, Becky. I hope so. I can't decide if I want what I want over here. I kind of like him because he really pops too. I don't know. I also had, what else did I have out here? I had this one. He doesn't pop as well. Got this bird. But I'm not really happy with that either. I like this the best of that. Now, where did I put? Oh, all those trees I cut. Oh, here they are. I was thinking about this, but I think I want a background where this will show up a lot better for all the work I did on that. So I'm not going to use it there. How does the foliage look around the monkey? Um, that's a good idea. I don't know. We could do something like that. Hi, Jen. Yes, I cut these out of magazines. Well, it may have been a book, actually, instead of a magazine. I get a lot of stuff out of magazines and I get stuff out of books too, so I'm not positive which one it was. But I kind of like that, and and I like her. I think that's fun. Becky likes the orange one too. Yeah, I like him there. And I do think the leaves help because his branch was not long enough to cover the whole page. What do y'all think about the leaves? Is that good or bad? And unfortunately, Diane hasn't come back yet. Let me look on Facebook Messenger and see if she says anything. Nope. Okay. Trying to decide if and her vegetables I think match the butterfly. They're the same color, so Jen likes the leaves with the monkey. Lisa likes the leaves. Okay, good. I tend to sometimes want to do more than I should. When I see something like this and I like it, I'm I'm thinking, especially in this, as big as this book is, it's okay to stop there and say, yes, this is enough. Um, Sometimes I have a hard time doing that. I keep thinking I need to add in, I need to add in, but I think I'm liking it just pretty much like this. So I'm going to go ahead and glue these things down while we're waiting to see if she can get back in. Um, I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to have to get off at 4:30. So thanks, Barbara. They do look like they are pretty, natural. So that's good. This was off of a calendar, so it's really thick paper. Oh, there she is. Hey, welcome back.
Sorry about that.
That's okay. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to get off at 4:30, so I'm glad you were able to get back on.
Good grief. Yeah. Wow. My phone died, and then my AirPods died, and
Oh,
I
goodness.
was like, well, and I had my phone plugged in, and so I guess I had the ones. Let me turn this right so it's not upside down. I had the one that was being not good, and I thought it was working, but it wasn't. So sorry about that. My goodness, that was an ordeal.
That's okay. We're just glad you came back instead of us not getting to say goodbye when it's time. So
yes, no, I did not. I was getting a little worried. It's like, well, I have to be able to say goodbye. So
yeah. Jen, I'm not usually. I usually am just Monday and Friday when I can stream. Those are the 2 days I stream. I would be willing to come back and do it again tomorrow if Dianne could come back so she could actually do some work.
I what's tomorrow's Friday?
Yeah.
Actually, I'm picking my kids up tomorrow, so I'm getting them early this week. So
Okay.
If I did, I mean, it wouldn't be until. I mean, I could pop in later on as soon as I got home. I for sure would pop in, but I usually get home at about 3:30 or so I could come in for a little bit. But any other time, evenings, I work nights too, so my schedule's kind of all over. But
right. Well, I understand. It's hard for me to find a time, to stream too. This time on Monday and Thursday, it works out best for me. But so I probably will not come on tomorrow then. If you could come on at for more than the last 30 minutes or so, then I would do it for sure. But maybe the next time that you don't have the kids, you could come on with me again on a Thursday or a Monday.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Yes. Yep. And I'll have spring break come in, and I mean, before I know it, school's going to be over, and then I'll be on summer vacation. So yes, for sure. I was looking at the calendar because I think actually, no, that's Friday. Next Friday I'm off. So
well, we could do it next Friday if you're going to be off.
So
if that'll work. It might not. You might have all kinds of things you have to do because you're off.
Yeah, no, it would, and I would be able to be here early. I would need to leave at about 2:50. So, I mean, if you wanted to get on a little bit earlier in the day, then I could. I have safe food training until like 11 that day. So, safe serve, I think is what it's called.
We could like come on at 12:30.
Yeah. Yeah,
that give you time to get some lunch and give me time to put the puppy in the crate.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
So let's plan on next Friday at 12:30.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to write it down or I'll forget, and you'll be going, "Where is she?"
And I will look. So I am quite sure that I can. Because
if it doesn't work, you can just message me.
Yeah, because I know I do have Friday off, and I do have the kids, but I don't have to leave until 2:45 to go start picking people up. So, so so I would have a little pocket of time where we could work on stuff. So,
Okay.
mm,
What day is that?
that's the third Friday.
Okay.
Yep, the third. So,
February the 3rd.
yeah,
All
already
right. Stick
February.
on
It's
my
crazy.
laptop because that's my calendar.
I know.
Post-it notes are my best friend.
Oh, excuse me. Oh, golly.
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and glue this one down too,
That looks great. That's so much fun.
and I'm gonna put this leaf over that so that it won't look like it's
I've got a
cut
place.
off. Okay.
I'm excited to start working my book again. So
Uh-oh.
I don't know if I'll put this one together or not. I'm sorry, I'm wiggling around everywhere. I'll be way more prepared next time. Make sure everything's charged up.
Yeah. Well,
Hey, for the first time, I have not streamed live since I can't even remember when. So thank you so much for having me here. It's been a lot of
well,
fun.
I'm so glad you could come and that you were willing to,
Oh,
because
for sure.
um, I wasn't sure if you could really do it or not. But I thought, well, it doesn't hurt to ask.
Oh heavens, no, no, no. I'm glad, very glad. So there's so much to share about all of it, and I love it. I love doing all of this stuff. So um, it feels good to be working in a lot of these things again. So, and I know that's another reason why I'm anxious to get my studio reorganized. Like I need a clean slate. So need to move some stuff out. The only problem is with me, once I start something big, I can't stop until I'm done. So, like I will work on it all day and all night until I get it finished. So, and this is going to be a pretty big clean out of things. So,
Yeah.
um,
Well, I wish I was like that. Then mine might actually be done.
well, I mean, you have
But
to remember that this is also my bedroom. So,
yeah.
there's my bed. So,
Well, that's where I have my spinning and weaving stuff is in my bedroom.
yeah.
I moved that out of here because there definitely was not room for all of it, and that was the most convenient place to put it. That nobody but me, well, the puppy's in there, but you know, uses that room now. Um, so I could stick it in there, but
Yeah.
I'm
It
trying
just
to get this.
Yeah, I get it makes me anxious if my studio side's messy, um, to try to be in here to sleep. And I mean, I'm not like a big clean freak. It's I have to have things like, I guess, organized, but even when I work here, I can't like start working until my bed's made because I've got to make, it's like I want my bed made so I don't feel that messiness behind me, while I work. So
Right.
got some really bizarre quirks. So
It's okay. Just
yeah,
own them and don't worry about it.
I do. I own it. Yeah. So, and I have to like in between each page, I have to clean everything up and put everything away before I start the next one. So, and the same thing with like if I'm doing mixed media or my paints, I even if I can use the same stuff on the next thing, I have to clean everything up. I have to clean off my whole area. I have to have everything put away, and then I'll start on the next thing. So, I think it's the visual side clutter that distracts me.
Distracts you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Lisa says I've been having a lot of fun working in the Nomad book too. Thanks for all the inspiration. Jen, this is the Nomad book. Um, I found this one, and I was showing it, and Diane came on and said, "Oh, I have that book." So, so we decided to play in it together. But it's got great,
The images are beautiful.
yeah, great places to start. I first thought maybe I would take images out of it, and then I just thought, no, it's just too good of a book to do that.
Yep.
I'm just going to put images, but add images in. So,
Well, and next time, remind me to show you the inside of the gypsy one and that blue one, because I forgot to
yeah,
do
yeah.
that. So if you want to see, I can flip through it really quick. And the
Okay,
gypsy
I
one
would
has
like to
some,
see it.
yeah, the gypsy one's got some really pretty images in it. So
Lisa says she's working on page 236 and 237. So we're going to go over and see what she's working.
yeah, okay.
Cool. Now I want to know what she's doing with those pages. Here's 236 and
Oh
237.
yeah. I found this one on the very back page. It's a door. So
Oh, yeah. I love doors and windows.
Mhm.
I had fun working on this page.
Oh,
lot of
that's
fun.
cool.
But so Lisa, are you in my Facebook group? A card party, she says, with rather unique characters. If you're in my Facebook group, post a picture. We would love to see.
Yes, yeah.
Are you in my Facebook group, Diane?
Yes, I am.
I thought you were, but I wasn't positive.
Yep. Like I said, I've been present in things. I just have been really quiet. So
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. And I'm bad with Facebook. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll see everything that I do. I share all sorts of stuff on there. A lot of times if I'm home and working on things, I'll share a lot in my stories of kind of as I'm progressing through a page, I'll, post kind of bit by bit what I'm doing and things like that.
Yeah.
So
I'm really bad about not posting on Instagram. I don't post a lot on Facebook either for the I started that group so I could see what the people are doing, that say, "Oh, I'm working on that with you." And I wanted to see what they were doing. So, thank you, Janet. She posted the Facebook group, Lisa. There's a link for you.
Yeah.
So I don't post. I definitely haven't posted much in the last year, but I'm happy that I have it, and I'm very grateful to Janet for running it for me because I have been completely unavailable, it seems like, on Facebook lately. So, but anyway, okay, this page is done.
That's awesome.
So while Diane was teaching us all kinds of fun stuff, I got to play. So next time you need to play.
That's okay. I don't mind. Once I get talking about stuff like that, it's hard to stop, So
It is, because it's exciting. It's fun, and it's fun to share with other people who want to know too. So
yeah, so it's definitely like a passion of mine. So, and I don't have a lot of, nobody here. I can't talk about it with like any live person here, really. I've started going to every other week downtown. There's been a local artist type group that's been meeting, and the reason why it started was so that you don't have to work alone. It's like, hey, come sit at the coffee shop. You don't have to talk to anybody, but you're going to be surrounded by other artists, who were wanting to not create by themselves either. So I started going to that. The first time I went, I was absolutely terrified and probably had a panic attack in the car going because I didn't know what was going to happen or what to expect. And I was so nervous. But now I can't wait to go each time. And but I met a lady the last week that I was there, and she also does collage. And we're talking about getting a group together here in Omaha of just for collage type people. So
how fun!
I'm hoping that takes off, because that would be really, really cool too. So.
It would be. I would love to have an in-person group to do art with. Y'all are my group to do art with, people
Yeah.
online, because like you, I don't have anyone in my life who enjoys the same things I do. Now, my daughter is very crafty and she's happy to craft with me, but she doesn't do the same things I do. You know,
Right.
she's more of an artist. I'm a crafter. Her art is better than mine.
Well,
I
right.
like
Yep.
putting stuff together, but she draws and paints and, um, but anyway, I am going to have to get off now.
Oh, yep. See, we could
So,
talk all night. Yeah.
okay. Yeah, we could. Yeah, I would
Yeah.
happily if I could, if I didn't
Yeah.
have to take care of the silly puppy.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But that's what I got to do. So, oh, hi, Kathy. Kathy D just subscribed to you, Diane. That's great.
Thank you.
Um,
Thank you.
so I'm gonna have to let you all go, and thank you so much for coming on, Diane. I appreciate it, and we'll do it again next Friday, not
Hopefully,
tomorrow, but
yes.
next Friday
Yes.
at
Hopefully, yes.
12:30 p.m. Central Time. Are you on Central Time too
Yes.
in
Yep.
Nebraska? Okay,
I'm.
I thought so, but I wasn't
Yeah.
positive.
I'm in Omaha, so
All right.
yeah.
Well, we will see you all later then. Bye
Thanks so
bye,
much, everybody.
everybody. God bless.
Yep. Bye bye.